The University of Dayton Marching Band is under the direction of Professor Kenneth Will. The Assistant Director is James Leslie. The Color Guard Coordinator is Sarah Hoffman. Our drum majors are Sarah George, Daphne Loppesweiler, and Luke Wilson. Our CEO is Gavin Ryder, and the assistant is Molly Urey. Students, alumni, family, and friends, the University of Dayton is proud to present the Pride of Dayton. So arise, all ye of Dayton, for your University of Dayton Flyers! Now we ask that you please rise and join us for the playing of the University of Dayton alma mater. Now, please direct your attention to the flags on the field presented by the University of Dayton ROTC Honor Guard. This afternoon, we pause to remember one of our own. Second Lieutenant Leah Borsich, a 2025 University of Dayton graduate, tragically passed away last week in Western Alaska. Leah graduated with a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering. She was a member of the Pride of Dayton Marching Band, the Symphonic Wind Ensemble, Flyer Pep Band, and the Air Force ROTC. Following graduation, she was commissioned in the United States Air Force and served in the 611th Civil Engineer Squadron at Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson in Alaska. Today, the Pride of Dayton is wearing a pin over our hearts in her memory. Leah will be remembered for her service, her love of music, and the energy, compassion, and joy she brought to those around her. But most of all, she will be remembered as our friend. Please join the University of Dayton community in a moment of silence as we remember Leah, honor her life and service, and keep her family and loved ones in our thoughts and prayers. Thank you. Please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem. All right, Flyer fans, it's game day at Welcome Stadium. It's time to show your Flyer spirit. Help us spell the name of the school we know and love. And now, a Pride of Dayton tradition and fan favorite, get up and dance to Earth, Wind, and Fire's In the Stone. 1925, Louis Pinella wrote a school song for the University of Dayton. Today, we still close every pregame show with his classic that we call Loyalty March.
It's back. It's finally back. College football has returned. We're here to kick off the 2026 season here at Welcome Stadium. as the Dayton Flyers get set to take on the Fighting Falcons of Fairmont State. Alongside the former standout Buffalo linebacker Josh Copeland, I'm Charlie Dane. So pleased to have you along for the ride on this day. Josh, the Flyers picked to finish 4th in the Pioneer Football League, but Trevor Andrews, their head coach, they think they're good enough to win it all.
Yeah. So, well, first off, it's such a great day to be here. Great day to kick off college football season. But yeah, Flyers, I mean, you're returning so many guys on offense. You have the pass leader.
As the visiting, you get to call it. What would you call?
Okay, yeah,
Tails?
so you have the pass leader.
Tails it is.
Sorry, Laco at running receivers. You have the two-headed monster at running back. So they have everything in place
You want the ball,
make
correct?
a run at PFL.
Which way do you want to kick?
They are very happy that Bryce Schondelmeyer is returning
so you're over there?
quarterback after he suffered
Fairmont State won the
clavicle
toss,
injury.
deferred their choice to the second half. Dayton will receive.
And Dayton
Gentlemen,
will
have a great
receive the
game.
football to begin this game. Talking about that two-headed monster at running back, Luke Hansen and Mason Hackett. They're going to be really good at running back this year, and can't wait to see Gavin Locko, what he will be able to do his senior year. He has been able to be such an impact player at that wide receiver spot. They're taking on a Fairmont State team, Division II team, that's going to pose some challenges for this UD defense today, mainly through their rushing attack.
Yeah, they have a dual threat quarterback, Mazzarlo, who's been their guy, their leading guy. When you have a dual threat quarterback who can beat you with your feet and also passing the ball, it makes it tough and puts a lot of stress on the defense. So UD's defense, they had to come out. One of the big things I heard them talk about all week in practice is communication, right? You have the front seven is the core. They've been here a while. You have some new guys on the back end and DBs. So communication is going to be key, especially if the quarterback gets rolling out and you got to plaster to your guys. So it should be a good test on all fronts for UD today.
You were a former college football player.
Yes,
Explain to me the feelings that would go through you on opening day.
Oh, it's nothing like it. It's nothing better. I mean, you had all spring ball, you had all summer, you're hitting your same guys. Now you're excited to go against somebody else. But also you got to contain that excitement, right? So the first game, especially the first few drives of the game, it's just letting guys settle into, at the end of the day, no matter all the excitement, families in town, it's opening weekend, it's still football, right? So you want to come out, be excited, but also play fast, but also keep your head on and not get too excited and make mistakes.
Leroy Lewis, the fourth back to receive for the Flyers. Like we said, it's back. College football is back, baby. Toe meets ball, and we are underway here at Welcome Stadium, and Lewis will catch it in the end zone. He'll take a knee. That'll be a touchback. And now we get to see this Dayton Flyer offense for the first time this season, and it begins with their quarterback, Bryce Schondelmeyer, senior quarterback out of Brookville, Ohio. As we mentioned at the top, suffered a clavicle injury last year, and up until then, he was having a pretty good year for the Flyers.
Yeah, he was the guy. He was the leader. He's passed the offense, and when you have a guy like that coming back now, it just settles everybody in. He knows the guys. They've been with him for a couple years. He knows the offense. Andrews can trust him out there. So it'll be interesting to see how he settles into this game, especially early, getting some quick passes, hopefully, and getting settled in right.
1st and 10, Flyers with the ball at their own 25-yard line. Schondelmeyer will hand off. And this will be a run off to the left, and that is one half of the two-headed monster they will have at running back with the carry. Luke Hansen, senior out of Indianapolis, Indiana, and this is a guy that does not shy away from contact.
No, he doesn't. He kind of runs through the wall, if you will. And when you have a guy like that who can put pressure on the defense all game, like you'll get 3 or 4 yards in the first 2 quarters, and then the third and fourth quarter, those might go to 7, 8 yards because he's a physical runner, and that puts a lot of pressure on the defense to bring him down.
Only a gain of 1 on that last play, so 2nd down for the Flyers. Man in motion for Schondelmeyer. It's now a play fake. He'll roll to his right, looking downfield, and it is incomplete. His intended target on the play was Donovan Weatherly, the senior wideout out of Clinton Township, Michigan, and now 3rd and long upcoming for this Flyer offense.
Yeah, that's something that you want to see and just settle into the game. As he's rolling out, he had him over this coming across the middle. He had him early, and that's something that you rep in practice, but in the game time it's different. So he has to make sure he goes through his progression because he had him early, and I would imagine they'll come back to that play.
DeMarcus Daniels in on the coverage there for Fairmont State. So it's now 3rd and 9 for the Flyers, their first offensive possession of the 2026 season. Back to pass, throw over the middle, and it is incomplete. A collective groan throughout Welcome Stadium as the pass was not able to be reeled in by Gavin Locko, the senior out of Proctorville, Ohio.
Yeah, I think that drive, yes, it was a 3-and-out. You're going to punt, but also there are some wins on there. He had two guys kind of open, but with the timing of things, and you talked about first game of the season, the excitement, kind of the quarterback and receivers' timing is a little off the first drive, but I would fully expect them to settle into the game, make those completions, and when you have a sure guy like that, a receiver, you don't expect him to drop many of those.
Ben Lavelle back to punt for the Flyers. And Elijah Tidwell, it looks like, is back to receive for Fairmont State. It'll be fair caught around the 30-yard line. And now we get to see this Fairmont State offense. Last year, 9th in all of Division II in rushing yards, but they've had to replace a lot of their running back production. But they do return their starting quarterback, Nino Marzolo. He is a junior quarterback out of Gaithersburg, Maryland, and as we talked about at the top of the broadcast, this is a guy that can do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, he can do a little bit of everything. When you have that in there, he can kind of make a broken play into something, right? So when you are UD and you're out there and you're playing defense, you have to make sure you stay locked in on him at all times.
It's a play fake, a little throw out to the right, and that will gain some positive yardage there for the Falcons as the catch is made by Joshua Jones, freshman running back out of Scottsdale, Georgia.
Yeah, we talked about it a little earlier. I want to see how they communicate on defense, right? You talk about the D-line and the linebackers are a lot of returning guys. They've been there with each other for a while, but now when you bring in those secondary guys, new guys coming in, it's all about the communication. So I want to see how they're able to communicate and relay the defense to one another.
After the 5-yard pickup, another swing pass, and this time handled nicely by the Flyer defense. As coming up to make the tackle was Emmanuel Hardrick, junior cornerback out of Damascus, Maryland.
That's a great open field tackle. Quarterback threw it kind of to the flat right there. He's able to come up, make a great tackle. When you have a physical corner like that, especially on a team that runs the ball, that just adds another person in there that can make sure tackles in open field.
So now it's 3rd down and 8. The ball spotted at the Fairmont State 32-yard line. They're going to go shotgun on this offensive possession right here. Spread it out with a couple of receivers. He goes back to pass, and the throw is incomplete. And now a flag is thrown on the far side of the field. I have a feeling this is going to be pass interference.
Yeah, he was on it. That was great coverage, and it kind of when you get towards the sidelines, the receiver's going to stop a little faster than you think just because the sidelines right there. So if you're a DB and you're going towards like to make a pass breakup, you have to be mindful of that. And he kind of just pushed him a little bit, but hopefully that was uncatchable, and that was kind of too far out of bounds, and they don't allow that.
And I think they might be discussing that right now. The intended target was Gage Michael.
Pass interference, defense, number 21. The ball was placed at the spot of the foul, automatic, first down.
So Emmanuel Hardrick, who had made that nice tackle in the open field, gets flagged for pass interference, and that'll lead to a new set of downs for Fairmont State.
Yeah, you kind of see it. He kind of pushed him a little early. He got there before the ball, and that's something when you have an aggressive corner like that, he gets to the ball and gets to receive a little faster.
So a fresh set of downs now for the
Nothing
Fighting
there.
Falcons. And now there is a run out on the far side there. And this is what the Falcons are going to be wanting to do as Ricky Hunt Jr., the running back out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, with a big pickup right there.
Yeah,
and I think John Shea, our head referee, he's not realizing that his microphone's on right now.
Yeah, but they've been attacking their right side, UD's left side of the field. So this whole drive, they've been everything to that side. So I want to keep an eye on that, see if they go back to that.
On this 2nd and 5 play, a pass, and it is incomplete. And we're trying a little pop pass over to Ricky Hunt Jr., running back out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and now another 3rd down situation for this Flyer defense.
Yeah, now you have 3rd and kind of mid, 3rd and 5, and so you want to make sure that as a defense that you rally to tackle. It seems like they're complacent and content with throwing the check down to the flats, so you just want to make sure you come up, rally, make the tackle, get out the down.
12-18.
Marzolo, back to pass, lefty passer. And the pass is incomplete. It was in the hands of Eli Sibley, redshirt freshman tight end out of Frostburg, Maryland. If he makes that catch, he probably has a good chance of picking up the first down. But that now leads to 4th down
3,
for the
6,
Falcons.
9, 11.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great read by Mazzarli right there, hit him in the chest. And I think sometimes, especially talk about your home opener game, when your first game for both teams, everybody gets excited. So he kind of turned and saw green grass before he caught the ball. But that's things you just get settled into the round. I mean, I said round, I'm a golfer.
96.
You get settled into the game, and you'll be fine later on.
Punt is away. And Paul Kelly
31 is my
is
corner.
back to receive inside the 10. He'll try to turn upfield a little bit, but doesn't have a lot of room to work with on the far side of the field. They'll mark it at the 10-yard line, and now the Flyer offense will come back onto the field 3 and out for this Flyer offense that brings back a ton of experienced talent, brings back 4 of its top 5 wide receivers, a potent 1-2 punch at running back. What do they need to fix here in order to get the machine going here?
I don't think they need to fix much. I mean, they had 2 opportunities there. The first one he rolled out and he kind of threw it late across the middle. Then the second one he dropped the pass. So I think you just continue to do the game plan and read the script, and they're going to find a little bit more success on this drive, I think.
So 1st and 10, Flyers at their own 10-yard line. And they will hand. It's Hansen. And Hansen will take it to the 15-yard line before being knocked out of bounds around there. Good upfield run that time.
Yeah, when you can have that, and that always settles in. A good run game settles in the offense, because that's something that you can just rely on. It gets the O-line in there, the big guys up front, they get pushing the defense around, and you get 5 to 7 yards on the first play. You can kind of settle in now. Now it opens up the playbook, because you don't have to think, I got to get 7, 8 yards. I just got to get 3 or 4 yards, and we get a new set of downs.
A nice gain of 7 there for Hansen. 2nd down and 3 now upcoming for the Flyers. Hansen still back there at tailback for Dayton. It's a play fake. They're looking to go deep. They'll go over the middle, and it is caught. A nice sliding grab that time by Laco around the 30-yard line, and a 1st down for this Flyer offense.
That's a great play, and that's what they had earlier, and they dropped pass, but to see them come back to that means that they trust him. I mean, you trust Laco down the middle of the field, coming off that seam. That's kind of like their bread and butter. You know, when you have those 2 guys who've known each other for so long, and you have a great receiver and quarterback connection, you just make those plays routinely, and it just moves the chains.
1st and 10. Flyers now at their 30-yard line after the reception by Laco. Loaded backfield for the Flyers. The give is to Hansen once again, trying to tiptoe, trying to spin out of a tackle, but he's met by a host of Falcons that time as they will bring him down around the 32-yard line, leading the charge defensively. Defensive back Quadir Lockett-Smith. He's a redshirt senior out of the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I mean, that was great.
The helmet came off, offensive play number 25.
They was able to get in there and stop them in the run. But I mean, that's what you want. When you have a double-headed monster like that UD does in the backfield, you can kind of pick up 1 or 2 yards here and there, and as the game goes on, just wears down that defense. Then those 2-yard gains turn into 4, 5, and then big plays later in the game.
Speaking of running back, Mason Hackett in at tailback for the Flyers coming up on this 2nd down play. A couple of men put in motion. Shondelmeyer will take the snap. Another play fake. Throw incomplete. Batted up in the air, and could have been a play made right there by Quadir Lockett-Smith. A little tip drill action that time, and the Flyers are very lucky that did not result in a turnover.
Yeah, I mean, great read by the corner there, but he was also a tad bit early. Surprised they didn't call a pass interference there, because he would hit him a little early there, but that was one of those bang-bang plays, right? He's right there, great read. But I see what he was trying to do, get the ball out of his hands quick, get it to your playmaker. So now this is a big down, though. This is a crucial down to see what you draw up and get the ball in your playmaker's hands and get this 1st down.
Gavin Smith with the initial coverage there for Fairmont State. And a flag before the snap.
False start. Offense, number 60. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
It's going to be a player that I happen to share a name with, Charlie Holtz, junior offensive lineman out of Spring Valley, Ohio, guilty of the infraction.
Yeah, and that's one thing that you want to see, that you don't want to see, but you kind of expect, especially first quarter of the first game of the season. Guys are a little excited, a little overzealous to get to play. So you're going to see a couple penalties here and there, but as the game goes on, you just kind of, guys, I keep saying it, just settle into the game. It's just football at the end of the day. Settle into it, and they'll be fine.
3rd and 13 now for the Flyers. Shondelmeyer in the shotgun. Takes the snap, surveys the field, gets it out quickly, and it's caught! That's a 1st down for the Flyers out to about the 46-yard line. When you need a big play, call Michael Masari. senior wideout out of Kings Mill, Ohio. Whenever the Flyers needed a big play in the passing game, they went to this guy. First down, Flyers.
Yeah, great play. He ran like a skinny post right there, was able to get separation from the DB. I mean, when you have Massaro and Laco there, you just know these guys are going to make plays, right? You know they're going to get there. And Schottenmeyer, his job is just to get them the ball, right? They're going to make space. They're going to create some space. So great pitch and catch right there for those two to get the first down.
1st and 10 at the Flyer 46-yard line. Schottenmeyer in the shotgun with a couple wide receivers to work with. The give is to Laco, and Laco's got some room out across midfield into Falcon territory inside the 44 with a flag thrown in at the very end of the play, so we'll have to check that. But a good run there by Laco. Not only can he catch the ball, he can run with the ball, he can even throw the ball, being a former high school quarterback.
Yes.
Personal foul,
Let's see what
face
here, guys.
mask, defense number 1. The 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. Automatic, first down.
Karan Watiz, the senior defensive back out of Maryland.
Yeah, I mean,
with the penalty.
Yeah, when you have a guy like that who can beat you with your feet, he can beat you in the passing game. He's just and he can also throw, like you said. It just the all-purpose yards he tallies up. It makes him special. So you have to see where he's at all times on the field if you're a defense, and that just puts stress on the defense because you have to where is he at on every play. We have to find him because he can make a big play anytime.
The penalty moves the ball inside the 30-yard line. Schottenmeyer will hand to Hackett. Hackett trying to cut it upfield, but he meets a wall of Falcons that time. Nick Longo, senior linebacker out of Oakdale, Pennsylvania, getting the initial penetration right there to bring Hackett down.
Yeah, I like this drive. Once again, I like the first drive was 3 and out. They came back, and Schottenmeyer, he looks settled in. He looks like he had a great season, preseason, great summertime. So he's settled in. He has control of the offense. So he's he's poised for a big year this year.
Hackett didn't get anything on that previous run, so it's now 2nd and 10. Pistol formation now for Schottenmeyer. He'll go to the passing game. Throw over the middle, caught by Laco inside the 15-yard line. Tackle made by Watiz, but not before. Another Flyer first down.
Oh, great route by Laco right there. He ran right behind the linebacker, and he kind of gave him a little move there, and he was able to free up the space in between him and the safety. Great read by Schottenmeyer there. Once again, when you have the guys who have such great chemistry, you kind of know who each other are and where they're going to be. So it's kind of like Travis Kelce and Pat Mahomes, right? There's not a lot of plays they draw up where they don't know where each other's at, and they can improvise as well.
So now it's 1st and 10 for the Flyers inside the 15-yard line. Schottenmeyer, pocket pass. Laco trying to find some room, and he's tackled as he crosses the 10-yard line. Good pursuit that time by graduate senior linebacker Montel Sims, native of Monica, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, great pursuit. Get down the line and make a tackle on an explosive guy like Laco there. But once again, I think UD they're in the driver's seat on this drive. Their offense is looking great. Their offense is clicking on all cylinders on this drive. So this is something that they can build on throughout the game to let them know, hey, this is what we worked on and it's working.
Inside the 10-yard line, ball marked at the 8. 2nd down upcoming for this Flyer offense, and Hansen back in at tailback. Schottenmeyer back to throw, looks to the end zone, touchdown, Dayton! Donovan Weatherly, the senior out of Clinton Township, Michigan, gets the Flyers on the board.
Great play by Schottenmeyer. Great play call. You get him one-on-one there. You have a lot of room there. He just made some move and get somebody to get there, right in the inside there, right on the hash marks. Pitch and catch. They've hit that same hash mark about 3 or 4 times on this drive. So they've seen something in defense, and they're just exploiting that. Great drive all in all by UD.
David Maurer, graduate senior out of Cincinnati, on for the point after. Kick is on the way, and it is good. 6:50 to go here in the first quarter. Dayton 7, Fairmont State 0. We'll be back with more of Flyers football here on Facebook Live in just a moment. Dayton with a 7-0 lead with 6:50 to go here in the first quarter. A Donovan Weatherly receiving touchdown as Bryce Schondelmeyer tallies his first passing touchdown of the young 2026 season. And what a textbook drive that was for Dayton.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you draw up everything. The plays were working. Schondelmeyer looks poised back there. He looks in full control of the offense. Even when they got third and kind of long, he was not panicked. He was able to make the completion. So that's promising to see. That means that he's confident. The coaches have a great game plan going on. So I think this is going to be a big year for him.
So now we'll see what Fairmont State does for an offensive response. First, the kickoff. Well, taken out of the 5-yard line. A little bungled there at the beginning. And a solid return up to about the 18-yard line or so as Gage Michael, graduate senior wideout out of Fairmont, West Virginia. So he didn't have to go all that far to play for the Falcons. In case you're wondering, Fairmont State, located in Fairmont, West Virginia. To give you an idea where that is geographically, it's about an hour and a half south driving-wise of Pittsburgh. They were able to make the trek to Dayton today, and plenty of their fans actually showed up as well.
Yeah, they have a nice following there with them.
As the pass over the middle is complete, and it's a foot race across the 40 down to about the 43-yard line. As the Falcons are looking to get something going here offensively. Big gain through the air as Breon Hardnett, the freshman wideout out of Virginia Beach, Virginia, with a big reception.
Yeah, they just had the coverage was kind of, looked like there was a zone coverage, and he was able to get behind the linebacker, get in that little sweet spot between the linebacker and safety, and was able to make the completion. But that's something that you want to work on in UD, work on communication, getting the linebacker to get hands on him.
Marzolo will hand off. Oh, boy, and nothing going for the run game that time. Try as he might, James Borber out of Maryland. He tried to get some yardage on that play, but the defensive line was up to the task. Mirko Yashis leading the charge.
Yeah, when you have great defensive linemen like UD does, Dayton does, it makes it tough, especially with a team who likes to run the ball. If you take away those inside runs, it puts a lot of pressure on the quarterback to make plays like he's not really used to.
Marzolo with a pass and complete. That'll be enough for a Falcon first down, as going out of bounds at the 46-yard line once again is Gage. So another Falcon first down.
Yeah, and he's left-handed, so that flips kind of the defensive strong side, because if you have a right-handed quarterback, a lot of times the plays they're going to throw to his left side, which would be the right side of the defense. So a lot of the players on the right side now, because he's a left-handed quarterback, he's throwing to our left side. So it just flips kind of the thing, so it's just a little different to get used to when you're a defender.
So fresh set of downs for the Falcons. Marzolo with a little play fake. And another nice, important open field tackle made that time. Coming up and making the play was Parker Chaney, junior safety out of Lexington, Kentucky.
Yeah.
A lot of new faces in that Dayton secondary.
Yeah, there's new faces there, but he made a great play there, trying to get a play action, kind of he came up and hit. And the thing I like about their corners in the secondary, they are physical. They're not scared to come up, make tackles on tight ends, make tackles on running backs. And once again, when you're playing a team that likes to run the ball, when you can get your corners up there to make tackles, that just helps out everything else on the defense.
Marzolo taking the snap. It's a handoff. And a minimal gain that time. James Barber trying to find some running room. Sam Smeeching coming to make the tackle from the linebacker spot. Boy, we're going to be calling his name a lot this season.
Yeah, he's was second in the team in tackles last year, coming back. We have a playmaker like that. And once again, you talk about the new guys on defense. When you have a stable guy like him in the middle of the defense, it kind of levels everybody out. He's able to make the calls, make the corrections needed, make the audibles, and get everybody in the right place.
Falcons are going to spread it out here on this third down play. Marzolo with some pressure, tipped, and that is going to be incomplete, but a flag is thrown in at the end of the play, much to the chagrin of this Flyer crowd.
It looked like it was a tip ball by the linebacker there to do that, but that was a great play by him in the middle to jump and tip it.
And that's what a lot of the Flyer fans here at Welcome Stadium are saying.
For pass interference as the ball was tipped. Fourth down.
Yeah, that's a great. As you're getting your drop in the zone as a linebacker, Yeah, you getting your drop. You want eyes on the quarterback and just get your hands up. They just tell everybody, get your hands up and make the quarterback throw over you. And you never know, you might get a tip or you might interfere with the receiver's vision. So if you can't get completely to your drop, get your hands up. You never know what happened. Great play right there.
The very basis of defense is throwing off the timing of the play. And if you're able to do something like that, knock the quarterback off the spot or get in the passing lane, that's going to throw off the play.
100%, because offense is all built, especially in the passing game, is on timing. Quarterback drops back, receiver has to get to a spot on the field at a certain time. Anything you could do to mess that up, it just adds to your advantage.
Kelly standing at his own 10-yard line. Bit of a low snap, but they're able to get the punt away. Kelly is going to let this one hit. It was outside the 5, now it's inside the 5, so a long field to work with once again for this Flyer offense. 3:39 to go in the first quarter. Dayton with a 7-0 lead over Fairmont State. Well, as we talked about at the top of the broadcast, Flyers were picked to finish 4th. It was San Diego that was picked to win the PFL this season, barely edging out 3-time defending champion Drake, as well as St. Thomas, who garnered a lot of votes in said poll.
Yeah, I mean, the PFL it's a great conference, a great league when you get the teams up there in the top. But UD, Dayton, they're right there. You know, they picked 4th, but with their offense and how their defense is playing, they're going to make a run for that championship.
Mason Hackett in a tailback. Schondelmeyer stands in his end zone. They give to Hackett. Hackett looking for some running room. He'll cut it upfield, split a couple of defenders as he's eventually taken down on the play by Jashay Brown, sophomore linebacker out of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah, great run there. I mean, when you're kind of back in your end zone and you're playing the field position game, you just want to get a couple yards there. Give Schottenmeyer some room back there to breathe, right? You don't want to be kind of dropping back in the end zone. But when you can get 3 yards there, 4 yards here, it just adds to the strain you put on the defense, and then you let Schottenmeyer do what he does and connect with his receivers.
So after the pickup by Hackett, Dayton looking for a little more here. Schondelmeyer, he'll hand once again. And Hackett got a lot of running room out across the 15, across the 20 before he's finally taken down at about the 22-yard line. First down for the Flyers after a tackle made by Jason Hayes, graduate senior out of Dayton.
Yeah, great run right there. Great vision. He kind of went front side and cut it backside to get a great game. But when you have the offensive line blocking like they are, you have the running backs running like they are, you have the receivers running routes and catching, you have Schottenmeyer back there leading the offense. This is poised for one of the great offense, I think, in my opinion, that UD is going to see in a while. They have everything in place.
They certainly have a lot of weapons to work with. And, of course, they're hoping for a healthy season for Schondelmeyer, their quarterback. The give once again to Hackett. No, it was a play fake. Schondelmeyer is going to be running to his right. He'll throw it out of bounds. And a flag thrown back at about the 11-yard line. Usually when they throw it there, that's holding.
Yeah, that's holding. When especially sometimes old linemen, they get beat and they kind of grab to kind of stop them from getting to the quarterback. And when Schottenmeyer is rolling out, you have the backside lineman back there trying to make sure his guy can't get to him. So it happens sometimes.
Offense, number 77. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Alex Walton, junior lineman out of West Bloomfield, Michigan, the culprit on that play. So it'll back the ball up to Dayton's 12-yard line as we are approaching the last few minutes here of the first quarter. Flyers on top 7-0.
Yeah, but that's the third penalty on the Flyers this quarter. So that's something that you want to coaching point. Hey, make sure we're still, we're following. We're not grabbing as a defense. We're not grabbing as an O lineman, and we're watching the snap count.
Schottenmeyer awaiting the snap in the pistol formation. Here's a handoff and a different running back for the Flyers, trying to find some room out to about the 20-yard line. The man with the carry that time, Noah Spencer. He's a sophomore running back out of Jackson, Tennessee. It's not just Ohio kids. They go down south.
They go down south. UD has a great tradition, so you get people from all over. A great run to bounce it outside. And when you have a penalty and you're kind of first and extra long, you just want to get something back to the original line of scrimmage. If you can do that in the first play, if it's 1 or 2 yards off, you're still fine. Now you can kind of still call the same plays you were normally going to call.
So now it leads to 2nd down and 11 as the ball is back at the Flyer 20-yard line. And there's another give, but boy, that play was blown up from the word go. Great penetration on the inside by DJ Daly. He's a redshirt senior out of Ocala, Florida, and then the rest of his mates came and helped him bring the ball carrier down.
Yeah, he was able to make a nice move right there on the guard and get right up the middle there. And when you have somebody getting penetration like that, right up the middle gap, A-gap, it's hard, especially on a run play, to get anything there. So sometimes you just got to take the tackle for loss and get out the down and get another down. But great defensive play right there.
So now it's 3rd and 14 for the Flyers from their own 18-yard line. Schondelmeyer hoping for some time, and now multiple flags thrown.
Ball start. Offense, number 35. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Noah Spencer hit with the flag that time, and I'm sure head coach Trevor Andrews is not liking the penalties, especially pre-snap for his offense.
Yeah. When you have pre-snap penalties, it just puts your offense in such a tough position. But those are things that are easily corrected, right? You're just getting a little too excited to get in your route. You're getting a little too excited to block somebody. But that happens the first game of the season. But now hopefully, he talks to them and they settle into this game.
Schondelmeyer in the shotgun. Back to pass. He's looking to go deep, and it is caught. Did he get both feet in? No, he did not. A tremendous effort that time by Michael Muzzari, but just didn't have enough real estate along the sideline in order to complete the catch.
Yeah, that was a great throw, but when you're going down the sideline, the DB did a great job of pushing him down the sideline. Great catch by Muzzari right there to get his eyes on that and catch the ball. But that's just one thing. He just kind of ran out of a field to the right side. But I like the play. It was a completed pass, even though it wasn't for yards, but it's still something that that their offense is clicking and the receiver and quarterback on the same page.
DJ Daly with the coverage that time for Fairmont State. And speaking of Fairmont State, they're going to be getting the ball back here, assuming that Dayton can complete the punt. Kick is away. Back to receive. There's DJ Daly, and he will fair catch it. And good field position upcoming here for the Falcons as we have about 15 seconds to go here in the first quarter. If you're just joining us, Donovan Weatherly with a receiving touchdown to give the Flyers a early 7-0 lead. But offense is kind of stalled here for the Flyers, and so far Fairmont State hanging around.
Yeah, they're playing well. They're getting what the yards they need. UD has some penalties to kind of help them out, but yeah, when you have an offense like Fairmont State, you just need to give them a chance, right? That's all they're trying to. Defense, give us offense a chance. We have a quarterback who's a dual threat. We can run the ball, so just give us a chance to get this ball rolling.
This might be the final play of the quarter. It's a play fake and incomplete as it falls incomplete at the feet of the intended target, James Borber.
Yeah, that's one again. I think when like I said, we're going to come back to this though. First game of the season, you're excited. You finally get some catches. You finally get the ball in your hands. You try to turn up the field and run before you actually see the ball in. But those are all little fundamental things that, as the game goes on, when you get settled in, you kind of make those plays.
Marzullo taking the snap, a hand up, and a lot of running room into Flyer territory inside the 40-yard line. And that is how the first quarter will come to the end. So the Flyers with a 7-0 lead. But this is still a ball game as the Falcons will threaten. As we will come back momentarily with second quarter action here at Fairmont, here at Welcome Stadium. 7-0 in favor of the Flyers. You're watching Flyers football on Facebook Live.
Flyer Nation, it's time to find our fans of the game. Make some noise with a freeze, the double feedback.
Second quarter here at Welcome Stadium, about to begin. A 7-0 lead for the Flyers over the Fighting Falcons of Fairmont State. Charlie Danis, Josh Copeland bringing you the action today here on YouTube Live. And it's a carry up the middle as Ricky Hunt Jr. not able to find a lot of running room that time for the Falcons. Taking a look at some stats from that first half. Nino Marzolo, the quarterback for Fairmont State, 5 of 9 through the air for 38 yards. And Bryce Schondelmeyer, meanwhile, 5 of 9 for 59 yards, and that passing touchdown for the Flyers in that first quarter of action.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what you expect the first quarter of the game, just kind of getting a feel for each other. They never played before, so they're trying to feel each other out.
Marzolo trying to find some room and throws. Might have felt some pressure there as the pass will fall incomplete. We talked about the youth of the secondary. There is definitely some veteran leadership on that defensive line.
Yeah, there definitely is. When you have defensive linemen who have been there a while, they can kind of settle everything in. Because if you have a good D-line on a defense, they can stop the run up the middle. They can get pressure on the offense, just like you saw there. They can make the quarterback kind of rush his throws, and that just helps the defense of backs back there. You can get a lot of coverage sacks, but you can also get sacks the right way.
Marzolo with a pass. It's picked off at the 28-yard line. And here come the Flyers the other way. It'll be a tackle towards midfield, making the interception. Joe Kingsbury, senior linebacker out of Frankfort, Illinois. The first turnover of the game belongs to the Flyers defense.
And you just talked about the veteran leadership, right? He was able to drop back, read the quarterback's eyes, and then you just flow with the quarterback, and he didn't even see him at all. He didn't see him at all. He saw he was on the backside there, was able to make a play, and that's what you need. You need your guys, your senior guys, veteran guys to step up. It's their last go around at it, so they're trying to leave nothing in the tank, and you get your offense back the ball.
1st and 10, Flyers now sitting at their own 48-yard line. So the first interception for the Flyers defense goes to Kingsbury, the veteran linebacker. Schondelmeyer with a play fake, rolling to his left, he'll throw, pass complete into Falcon territory, inside the 40-yard line, and a very good pickup there by Donovan Weatherly, who scored the touchdown earlier in this game. Big first down for the Flyer offense.
Yeah, great play. Anytime you can kind of get the ball in your hands, you see motion across the field. Anytime you can get your playmakers the ball anywhere around the line of scrimmage and they can turn it into a big game, that just lets you know that you are clicking on all cylinders, right? And that just frees up Schondelmeyer there because he knows I don't have to make this 15-yard pass to get 15 yards. I can just get somebody a 2-yard slant, 2-yard flare, and they can take it and get the ball in the playmaker's hands.
Ball spotted at the Falcon 37-yard line. Schondelmeyer in the shotgun. And it'll be a handoff. Looking for some running room, picking up some decent yards that time. This is Luke Hansen.
Yeah, they look fully in control, and this is what you want to see after a turnover, right? You want to see your offense kind of just march down the field, take their time. You're not in any rush. You can take Schondelmeyer, can get the play call in. He can let his defensive guys, he can let the defense set. He can read the defense. He can kind of get the calls he needs to. So this is a good position they're in, but also you don't want to be too comfortable here. You don't want to be complacent. You want to keep your foot on the gas and go down here and score.
Schondelmeyer in the pistol after the 4-yard gain on the previous play. Back to pass. Quick throw out to Hansen. Hansen looking for some blocking. Finds some blocking. Down the sideline. Hansen into the end zone. Touchdown, Flyers. He just got to that sideline and turned on the Jets.
Great play call there. That's how you answer after a turnover. That's how the offense and defense can work together and make a great play. They just get him a swing pass. He gets out there, and give credit to the receivers there blocking, tight ends blocking. Everybody's out there hat for a hat. He's able to hit the crease and score. That's exactly how you draw up that play. If you were to draw up a play on a whiteboard and how you want it executed, that's exactly it.
Carson Lubenski doing some very good blocking on the perimeter for the Flyers that time as the kick is up, and it is good. So a slow start to begin the game for this Flyer offense, but now we're starting to see, okay, weapons at running back, weapons at wide receiver. All you have to do is do the things you need to do pre-snap, and things just fall into place.
And they fall into place. And it's kind of like a boxing match, right? Especially teams that never played each other before. You don't know each other. So you're just trying to, the first quarter is just kind of feel each other out. You just kind of throw some jabs in there, see how they react. If you put this formation here, if you motion this guy, how they're going to react. And then the second and third quarter, that's the attack. That's when you just, okay, we see what they're going to do if we go in motion. We see how they're going to line up. We see who's going to guard who. Let's start exploiting that. And Schottenmeyer is doing a great job of just getting his guys the ball early in the down, getting his guys the ball early in the play, and just letting them do what they do.
And doing this after getting a turnover on defense. This is complementary football. Your defense does its job, and then the offense pays it off.
100% it does. And now when you come back, you want to guys, because the defense can get a little excited right now, right? They just come off a turnover, offense scored, so you want to make sure your defense is still locked in and not trying to. This is where some pass interference could happen because they just get a little aggressive. But great complementary football so far, and I love where they're at.
3 plays on that drive, 53 yards, and only took a minute 34 off the clock. 33-yard rushing touchdown by big old number 25, Luke Hansen.
Yeah, and if you're Fairmont State, now this is a critical drive for you. You want to make sure you can control the ball, get down there, and at least try to get a field goal.
Kick is away. It'll bounce in the end zone. So this would be a touchback for Fairmont State. Okay, Fairmont State's the type of team, they like to run the football, but they're down 14-0. How do you feel about Marzullo so far in this game? How he's handled himself in the pocket so far?
Yeah, he's done pretty good. Obviously, Dayton's D line is able to get pressure on him, but he hasn't really got to be comfortable in the game. It doesn't feel like he's fully settled in. It feels like he's trying to get here and there, and then they had a couple drop passes, so that's some momentum killers there. But look for him. I mean, he's a veteran guy, leader on the team. This is a big drive for them. If they can get some momentum, get down the field and kick a field goal, that settles everybody in.
1st and 10. Falcons start at their own 25-yard line, trying to get something going with the run game, and a big pop near the line of scrimmage that time. That hole closed quickly because Ross Coppett came screaming in there, the junior safety from Centerville, Ohio, just down the street making the play.
Yeah. I mean, when you have a guy like that, once again, the thing I love about the DBs from Dayton is they are tacklers. And when you have those guys that can come down the field and make the tackles in open field, it just adds to all the things you can do as a defense. It makes everybody feels like they're part of it. You can kind of go a little bit more schemes. You can blitz a little more because you know you have people back there that can make the play.
Only a gain of 2 on that last play. Borber with the carry, and Borber is quickly taken down. Nice play made on the run by Zane Plattner. He's a junior defensive tackle out of the Queen City of Cincinnati.
Great play there. He was able to get penetration, watch him good up there, beat the guard right there, and make a tackle on the front side of the play. Their defense is looking really, really good. And when you can have that and you can have the offense that you have at University of Dayton, they are playing really good football right now, and it's great to see.
Flyer defense now trying to finish the deal here on this 3rd and long play. Marzullo trying to throw across the middle, and it's picked off. His 2nd interception. They're coming back inside the 15, into the end zone. A defensive touchdown for the Flyers. Javon Brooks, junior safety out of Indianapolis with the play.
I think they said he stepped out, but great play. I don't know if they're going to call that back. I saw the line judge there.
Yeah, it looks as though that he might have stepped out of bounds at the 4-yard line. Still, tremendous play.
On the field is an interception, and the player who intercepted the ball stepped out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
5-yard
line. Yeah, you can tell he did.
It's hard to walk that tightrope sometimes.
It is, especially you coming down the field and you're trying to make that cut. But once again, complementary football. D-line's able to get pressure. You talked about Marzullo. He just doesn't look comfortable back there. And you get the D-line give pressure, the DBs and linebackers in coverage. It just makes for a great defensive scheme. The guys are executing. You couldn't, once again, this is exactly how you would draw it up if you're Dayton for the first quarter and a half of football.
Now let's see what the Flyers do here offensively. Kind of a wildcat formation. Hansen takes the snap. He'll run forward. And he'll try to bulldoze his way towards the end zone, but too many bodies to go through that time. As combining on the tackle for Fairmont State was Jeffrey Polk and big old Derek Badley. Derek Badley, 6'2", 350, senior out of Virginia.
Hey, that's a big guy up front. He's taking up a lot of space up there, and that's what you want. But when you have the two-headed monster with Hassan, and you can get down there and you can just beat them down and run down the clock, and you can make them tired.
Gain of 1 on that last play, so it's 2nd and goal from the Falcon 4-yard line. Hansen still in at running back. Schondelmeyer back at quarterback. Throw to the end zone, and it's incomplete. And the way that ball came out of Schondelmeyer's hands, it just didn't look as crisp as it needed to. The play was there to be made, but not executed.
Yeah, I don't know if there was something with the seams of the ball, but it kind of came out of his hand. But that's one of those plays you expect him to make and catch right there. But once again, you're down in the red zone. You're on the 3-4 yard line. You don't have to press. Yes, you would love to make that completion, but the good thing is it was open, right? And that's one of the things okay, we didn't complete it, but it's open, so what we're calling is working.
So now 3rd and goal for the Flyers. Let's see what Schondelmeyer and the offense do here. They give it to Hansen, and Hansen's trying to fight his way through, but the Falcons' defense stands tall.
They stand tall, and there's a flag there on the play. We'll see what that is.
Flag was thrown into the end zone, so let's see what the call is. Head referee John Shea.
The defense had 12 players in formation. By rule, that's a foul for legal substitution. Defense, half the distance to the goal, 3rd down.
Looks like the Flyers catch a little bit of a break there, and unfortunately for Fairmont State, man, you got to be better on your fundamentals right there, right?
Yeah, and that's one thing that is just subbing guys in, especially when you get down to the red zone. You might bring in different packages, and that's one thing that you rep in practice. But when it's game time, it's just one person not paying attention or getting caught off guard, and now you have 12 guys on the field and you get a penalty.
So now it's 3rd and goal. Ball spotted at the 2-yard line. Schondelmeyer taking the snap. He'll hand to Hansen. Hansen trying to find the end zone, and he hits pay dirt. Touchdown, Flyers.
Great play. I mean, when you get an interception, you get down there, that's what you expect. The offense clicking on all cylinders there. This is looking like a UD's team that's going to do great in the PFL this year.
He went right behind left tackle Matt Barnes, returning lineman for the Flyers, and was able to cash it in.
Yeah, the Barnes was able to get penetration, push these guys back, and when you can do that, you only need 3 yards. It's just a walk in the park there.
Kick is up, and it is good. We'll take a short break. 9:58 to go here in the 2nd quarter. Flyers with a big 21-0 lead over Fairmont State. You're watching Flyers football on YouTube Live. Back here at Welcome Stadium, the Flyers have opened up a 21-0 lead over Fairmont State. Their last drive only took 3 plays, 5 yards, 1:10 off of the clock. A 5-yard rushing touchdown by Luke Hansen, his 2nd overall touchdown of the game, coming off of the 2nd interception for the Flyer defense this afternoon.
Yeah, the defense is flying around, making plays. D-line's getting to the quarterback. They're getting penetration, stopping the run. And when you can stop a team like Fairmont State, when you take away what they're good at, right? They love to run the ball. So when you can stop them and you can get ahead, now you force them to do something they're not really comfortable doing, which is passing the ball a whole lot. So now that plays into your defensive strengths. You get the D-line down there, getting pressure in, and you just make him uncomfortable back there. And now you can just pin your ear back and go.
Boy, that kick almost cleared the uprights that time, as it'll go down as a touchback. Fairmont State getting ready for their next offensive possession. Speaking of offensive numbers, Bryce Schondelmeyer, 6 of 11 through the air for 75 yards and a passing touchdown. Luke Hansen, meanwhile, leading the way running the football. 7 carries, 51 yards, and a couple of rushing touchdowns. He does have a long of 33, and he's averaging 7.3 yards per carry. That is definitely what you like to see out of Luke Hansen, who over the course of his Flyer career has dealt with some injuries. Flyers are hoping for a healthy season from that young man during his senior year. So now Fairmont State goes back to work offensively, trying to run play to the left, but gets minimal yardage that time, as bringing him down was Sam Schmeezy, senior linebacker out of Piqua, Ohio.
Yeah, great play right there to kind of bring him down there. And as a defense now, this is, as a linebacker, I love when you're up kind of early, because you kind of make them one-sided in a sense. You know they're going to kind of run the ball to control the clock, but you know they have to pass the ball. And you can just drop into coverage, and the D-line can go at them, and you can just make plays.
Pass complete, and some good yardage picked up that time by Elijah Tidwell. He's a 5'7" running back out of Ashburn, Virginia.
Yeah, there goes Marzello there. He just makes a nice little throw to the flats there. And as a defense, you give that up sometimes. Sometimes they call a play and you're in the defense, and that's just open. So you just give it to them, rally up, make the tackle, get third and short, try to get off the field and force a 4th down.
Marzullo, 6 of 13 through the air, 44 passing yards, and now 3 interceptions. I was going to say 2 interceptions on the day, but that is his 3rd. A flag has been thrown back at the 11-yard line, and that is the 2nd interception on the day for Javon Brooks.
Great play, great way to read the eyes by Brooks there. He was able to sit on the route and read it. Once again, when you know they have to throw the ball, and you can just kind of sit there as a DB and just read the quarterback's eyes and go, depending on defense. But this is what we talk about. I don't know what they're going to call. It looks like somebody there hit the quarterback when they was running, when he was returning the ball. So I don't know what they're going to call here. But once again, that's just a play that we'll see what they call now to finish this.
After the interception and during the return, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, intercepting team number 95. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 1st down, Dayton.
So that's going to go against Vito Panessa. He is a junior defensive tackle out of Kent, Ohio. So that's unfortunate for Dayton in that you had the interception, and it looked like your guy had a clear path to the end zone, but the pick 6 is going to be taken off the board, and instead your offense has to come back onto the field.
Yeah, offense has to come back. Great play by him, but number 95, that's an unnecessary penalty right there. His guy was already in the end zone, and you don't have to hit the quarterback there, but that's one thing that you watch and you rep and film and say, hey, guys, we don't want to make any more penalties on us, and we don't make it harder than we have to be.
Hackett with the run up the middle. Hackett looking for some room inside the 5, and he'll tumble into the end zone. Touchdown. Well, no pick 6, no problem. Give it to Hackett, he'll score.
He'll score, right? When you have Hackett back there doing what he does, it just makes it so much easier for the offense to kind of get in the end zone. Yeah, you as a defensive guy, you would love a pick 6 and put that on the defensive board. But once again, you're playing complimentary football, so you give it to Hackett and let him just go in there and score.
And boy, you can see on that replay the balance that Hackett possesses. This is a guy that's a former hockey player. So you want to talk about a special athlete. Hackett is that guy at running back for the Flyers.
Yeah, you can see certain sports they have transferable skills, right? They transfer well over to each other. So the balance you need in hockey, you definitely comes over to running back. But once again, it's just they're clicking on all cylinders. They're playing great complementary football, and that's something that you kind of want to carry on, bottle up, and just take that throughout the season.
8:43 to go here in the 2nd quarter, keeping it right here at Welcome Stadium. Flyers out now to a 28-0 lead over Fairmont State. You know, every football team has a saying to get your guys ready for the upcoming year. And Trevor Andrews, the head coach of the Flyers, he has come up with a slogan, 3 words, brace for impact. And I think this is a really good slogan in that he has guys on this team that have been with him from the very beginning. Andrew's now in his 4th year as head coach of the Flyers. They want to win a PFL title. They crave that PFL title. And this saying, I think, goes right in hand with them wanting to, quote-unquote, land the plane this year, get that title.
100%. When you have guys and you have all the makings, right? You've seen it over the last couple of years. They have great plays here. They have some mistakes here. But this year, and you can tell it now in this game, right? Everything is starting to click. And when you have guys that's been with you since the beginning, they're your first recruiting class. They're the guys you promised. As Andrews, he won 3 PFL championships as a player, so he knows what it takes to do that. So when you have that time, and now it's like, hey, guys, this is everything we work for. Let's land a plane. Let's brace for impact because it's going to be a great ride, and let's kind of bring this thing home.
Kick is away, and it'll go into the end zone. I had a chance to talk with the longtime radio voice of Flyer football, Larry Hanskin, who also does a tremendous job with Dayton men's basketball, and he told me even though this Flyers team was picked to finish 4th in the PFL, they think, the coaches think, the players think, everybody on this team thinks that they're more than good enough to win the league title.
They are. I mean, you show that. You have Schottenmeyer coming back. He has control of the offense. You have the 2 receivers that are great in Locko Masar. You have the running backs. You have the great defense. So everything's in place, and now they just have to execute it.
A little turnaround and a while past that time. In on the coverage for the Flyers was Stephen McCalmont, junior cornerback out of Mason, Ohio. And right now for Nino Marzolo and the rest of this Falcon offense, they're just trying to get some semblance of tempo going, trying to get their feet under them after some really rough plays offensively.
Yeah, it's hard. They don't have a rhythm right now. Dayton's defense is taking away their rhythm, and we have our team that runs the ball. The running creates the rhythm. And once again, just great penetration there, great pursuit. They're able to take away what they do great, and that just makes them uncomfortable.
Griffin Surin, sophomore defensive end out of Lincolnshire, Illinois. So now the Flyers are starting to really show off this depth as more and more young players are starting to enter both offensively and defensively. And boy, what a luxury it is to not only have veterans at the top, but young guys who are really hungry, wanting to prove themselves once they get out onto the field.
Yeah, I mean, when you have depth on all positions, it just makes it easier for guys to get in the game. It makes it easier for...
And Marzolo nearly had it picked off again. Kicking himself is Emmanuel Hardrick, who's already flashed as a tackler in this game. He nearly had a pick on that play.
Yeah, great coverage there, and that's one thing, once again, Marcelo, he doesn't look comfortable. When you get penetration here, you force him to run out the pocket, and you force him to go to his right. He's throwing across his body, and the corner's just sitting there, and this is great. So you get, when you're up kind of like this in the second quarter, you can start rotating guys in, give your starters some breaks, and just give guys this chance to see what they can do. And when you have depth like we talked about earlier, it just adds to the fire.
Paul Kelly back to receive the punt for the Flyers. He's going to return this at the 43. Cross midfield into Falcon territory. Kelly, one of the top returners in the PFL. He will prove to be a valuable piece for this Flyers team as this season goes on. Nice return right there. And again, nice field position upcoming here for the Flyer offense.
Yeah, I mean, they're in the driver's seat here, of course, in this game. And this is when you're up kind of 4 touchdowns in the middle of the second quarter, your offense can kind of just take the foot off the gas. You can kind of say, okay, we think we got the game in the bag. We are kind of in control of it.
Number 9. The 10-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the run. First down.
So that'll be a penalty on Fairmont State.
Yeah. But, I mean, you have that, and so when you can have you just want to make sure your guys are still executing. You want to make sure that they're still engaged. You want to make sure that they're still putting the foot on the gas, because you want to make sure that, hey, if we're going to try to brace for impact and land this plane and win the PFL, we have to be able to play with the lead. We have to be able to still execute and not take our foot off the gas.
Luke Hansen back in at running back. He's already flashed at that tailback position for the Flyers this afternoon. Shondo Meyer in the shotgun. He'll take the snap. He'll play fake to he'll give to Hansen, and Hansen will move upfield to about the 41-yard line. It's only going to be about a gain of 1, so a rare instance of the Falcons being able to stop this Flyers run game that once it gets going, boy, it's unstoppable.
It's unstoppable. It's so great. Like I said, you got the two-headed monster back there and Hackett and so when you get back there and you're able to put two people in there that can kind of give you a little bit of everything, now the playbook's wide open because you can have somebody in there to run up the middle. You have somebody in there that you can give outside ball to. So it makes it really nice to have both of those back there.
Schondelmeyer with the play fake. He'll throw. Deep ball is caught inside the 15. Spin move to the end zone. Touchdown. Oh, my goodness. Donovan Weatherly showing some moves on his way to pay dirt.
Great play right there. They kind of brought him out. He was one-on-one with the corner down the sideline. Great throw, great awareness by him. Here he goes. Schottenmeyer back there. He's one-on-one. Great separation to fight off the DB. Honestly, pretty good coverage by the DB there to kind of get it. But the awareness to kind of know that the safety's coming over the top. Let me put a little spin move on you, hit the Madden button, and then come around and score. They're looking so good right now.
What a great first half for Donovan Weatherly with his second receiving touchdown on the afternoon, and boy, Flyers are cooking right now. They're up 35-0 with 7:12 remaining here in the second quarter. Couldn't ask for a more beautiful day weather-wise. Couldn't ask for a better day offensively for the Flyers as everything is clicking.
Yeah, you're clicking it. And once again, this is how you draw it up when you kind of on the offense and the coaches are making the first quarter script, first two drive script. And you're right, they started off a little slow, but once they found what works, now they're going back and they're just exploiting it. And that's what you want to see as an offense. You want to see your guys still execute, still put the foot on the gas, still kind of go out there and say, no, I know we might be up right now, but we still sending the message, right? This is the send the message time that, hey, our offense is legit, our defense is working, our special teams is good. We are the team to beat in the PFL, and that's what they're trying to make a statement today.
So the Flyers have this game today. They will have a bye week next week, and then they welcome in Thomas More. We'll have that game for you on YouTube Live coming up on September 12th, 12 p.m. kickoff, noon kickoff, I should say, here at Welcome Stadium. And again, another drive that produces a score within 3 or 2 plays. Only took 2 plays, 39 yards. And Weatherly with another touchdown reception, second on the day. It's also been a very good day for Bryce Schondelmeyer, who's got a couple of passing touchdowns on the afternoon.
Yeah, he's in there. He's settled in, and he has full control of this offense.
As the ball will go into the end zone for a touchback.
Yeah, and if I'm Fairmont State, you just kind of want to get out here, and right now you want to see your guys still fight. That's what you want. If you can get down early and you first game of the season, it's easy to kind of pack it in and say, all right, well, we just didn't have it today, guys. Let's regroup and let's get them out next week. But no, you still have 2.5 quarters left. So you still have a lot of football left. So you want to see your guys fight and keep that edge to them and just claw back. So now you're looking for small victories right now. You're looking for, are we getting first downs? Are we moving the ball? Can we not have the turnovers?
Run play off to the left, and very minimal yardage there as once again coming up to make the play is Sam Schmeezing. You got to wonder, how much longer is Marzillo going to stay in there at quarterback? He's already thrown 3 interceptions. I know that he's going to be their guy at quarterback for the season going forward, but I don't know. How much longer do you keep him in there?
I think he's your guy. You got to kind of ride it with him until maybe third or fourth quarter when the game gets really out of hand then.
Nice run
there.
Across the 40-yard line, and a very good pickup actually by Joshua Jones, the freshman out of Scottsdale, Georgia. That'll be a first down for the Falcons.
Yeah, and those are the small victories we talked about, right? When you're down 35-0, you just want to make sure that, okay, let me get this first down. Let me do this. Let's do the small things right, so when we go back to film, we can kind of have something that we say, hey, we done good here. And so you talk about Marzillo, I mean, he's your guy, right? He's the guy you have, and so you just ride out with him, and hopefully he can spark something and spark a couple comebacks here in a little bit.
Marzillo able to get out of a potential sack throw. It was caught by the receiver, but couldn't get his feet down in bounds. Tremendous individual effort that time by Rollo Wesley, freshman wideout out of Savannah, Georgia, but just didn't have enough green in order to complete the catch.
Yeah, I mean, the University of Dayton's D-line is getting pressure all day on him, and that makes it, I mean, look at this. He went up over 3 defenders. Great ball awareness to catch the ball. I mean, you didn't get in bounds, but that's just another small win, even though you didn't complete it. But when I look at that, I'm like, hey, he went up and tried to make a play for his guys. And you don't want your guys to quit on each other. You know what I mean? So you kind of want to get them there. And it just makes it so much easier, though, for UD now that you know they have to throw the ball.
2nd down and 10. But first, the timeout's going to be taken by Fairmont State.
Fairmont State, their first of the half, 30-second timeout.
We're going to take a quick timeout with them as well. 6:06 to play here in the first half. Flyers up big 35-0 over Fairmont State here on YouTube Live. After that timeout by Fairmont State, they face a 2nd down and 10 from their own 40-yard line. Flyers enjoying a big 35-0 lead over the Fighting Falcons here this afternoon. And Sam Schmeesing with yet another tackle for that Flyer defense, helped along the way by Paul Napke. He's a sophomore safety out of Hilliard, Ohio. Went to a very good high school football program in Hilliard-Davidson.
Hilliard-Davidson, great program there. He's been all over the field. He's over there. The anchor of the defense has been making tackles all over the field there. But what I would say about Fairmont State is when you're so used to running the ball, it's a different thing when you had to pass protect as an O-lineman. And I'll get into that a little bit more here.
Marzolo's pass incomplete as he was trying to find his intended target, Gage. Michael, go ahead.
Yeah, so when you're a run-first team, the offensive line is used to coming forward. They're used to that. That's their strip. That's where they feel comfortable is going forward. But now when you have to pass and you're down, now you have to kick step. You have to drop back into pass protection. And if you're not comfortable doing that early in the game, now you're putting more stress on them to kind of make, and then as a D lineman, now you can just pin your ears back and go at them.
Paul Kelly back to receive for the Flyers. A little bit of pressure that time on the punt, and he will let this one bounce into the end zone for a touchback. Flyers offense coming back onto the field once again. It's the start of another college football season. This is technically week 0. Week 1 is not until next week, but we all know it's the beginning of college football season, and there is a big game being played across the pond in Dublin, Ireland at the moment. TCU, Texas Christian, taking on North Carolina, and it's a very competitive game, 10-10 with 7:05 remaining in the second quarter. TCU, of course, blowing out UNC last year, and you and I were talking before the game that Bill Belichick, he's one of those coaches that's on the proverbial hot seat.
Yeah, he is. I mean, when you have the pedigree that Bill Belichick has, you had that seat gets a little warm before it kind of gets hot, but he's definitely on that.
And that ball is tipped at the line of scrimmage. Making his presence known defensively was Kaylon Curry. He's a senior defensive lineman out of Augusta, Georgia.
Yeah, I mean, great penetration there. And what we talk about as a defense, if you can get in the backfield, put your hands up. If you can't get the sack, put your hands up. He did a great job there. But that's what you want to see. You want to see your defense fighting. You want to see them not quit on each other. You want to see, okay, do we have the grit to overcome adversity? Are we able to still stay in the game and still get our alignment, our assignment, and execute the plays, even if we're down?
Bryce Schondelmeyer will hand off, and a new running back in the game for the Flyers. That's Mikey Hess, sophomore running back out of Newark, Ohio. You know, I was talking with Hall of Fame coach Mike Kelly. Great guy,
yes.
Great coach, formerly for the Flyers here, longtime radio analyst for the Flyers, and he was telling me that, okay, you know about the 1-2 punch at the top with Hackett and Hansen. They bring the force, they bring the power. They got a lot of young guys with speed behind them. This guy being one of them.
Yeah, he does. And when you can kind of get up early, now you can put those guys in the game to see what they can do and get them out there with the #1 offense and offensive line and just see what they're made of.
Schondelmeyer back on this 3rd and 9, trying to scramble. Now he'll throw, and it's incomplete. Mazzari was trying to turn around to make a circus catch that time, but just didn't have enough room, and That'll go down as an incompletion, and the Flyers will have to punt.
Yeah, Fairmont State did a great job of getting penetration right in there. They kind of blitzed somebody, did a loop, and they was able to get some penetration. Schottenmeyer saw something. He hesitated a little bit, but now, I mean, you get the ball
Fairmont
out.
State has changed jersey numbers from 3 to 55.
A jersey number change made that time. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was able to get the ball out, and even though it was incomplete, and he couldn't really step into the ball to get the downfield like he wanted to, but great defensive stop by Fairmont State.
And so now they will get the ball back, and this is going to bounce away from the kick returner, and luckily he did not touch the ball that time. That would have been extremely disastrous for Fairmont State, and because of that fortuitous bounce for Dayton, it's inside the 20. Now it really backs up the Falcons. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, it looks like the sun got in his eyes and he couldn't see the ball for as close as he was to where it landed. I think he just lost it in the air. But that's scary because you're right. If he did touch it, then UD covers it. So when that situation happens, you just tell everybody, run away from the ball. Like, don't go nowhere near it because UD could have easily grabbed him and pushed him into the ball, and now it's Dayton's ball. But those are things that you just work on, right? And you don't really know how you're going to react until they happen in the game.
Motioned into the backfield is the running back, Ricky Hunt Jr., and he'll pick up a yard, maybe 2, as this UD defensive line has really asserted itself here, particularly in the second quarter.
Yeah, they're just dominating right now. They're dominating the trenches. They're dominating the line of scrimmage. And when you can have that, when you can get pressure with only 3 down linemen, and you allow your linebackers and your safeties to kind of fill in the gaps, that's the defensive coordinator's dream.
2nd and 8. And now a little bit more running room as that will result in a first down. Good burst of speed that time by James Barber. They have him listed as a wide receiver, but we've seen him the vast majority of this game so far toting the rock at that running back position. And now the Falcons are going to pick up the tempo here a little bit on this first down play. Flyers defense able to meet the challenge, however. Mirko Yacic just tearing up that play in the back end.
He was in the backfield right when they called hike, and he was able to get a great tackle for loss. But you're right, I think right now, Fairmont State, they're just trying to find something, right? If you get a little bit of momentum, you get a little bit of positive plays, let's try to do up-tempo. Let's try to throw off the defense a little bit and try to get them, especially if you catch them in a package or you some personnel that you like that's to your advantage. Let's keep the foot on the gas. Let's keep these guys on the field so they can't substitute. But now, I mean, University of Dayton, they're getting so much pressure with the 3 down linemen.
2nd and 10. Falcons at their own 29-yard line. A pass play and taken down in the backfield. First sack of the game belongs to Jace Schaefer, junior defensive end out of St. Mary's.
Yeah, Schaefer coming off the edge. Once again, when you get pressure with 3 down linemen, it makes it so easy. He's over there with the tackle, just beats him. He gets it up and under, goes up the field, comes back under, free run to the quarterback. I mean, that's a great right there, up and under move by him, Schaefer there. And, I mean, it has to be fun, right? When you're out there and everybody's kind of contributing, everybody's playing, it's football at its finest, and that's what you want to see as the University of Dayton.
That's the first sack of the game for the Dayton D to go along already with 3 interceptions. There's going to be a lot to like on the game film by the time there.
For the 2-minute timeout.
When they take a look at film coming up next week, as we will stop here at the 2-minute mark. We'll take a quick break. 35-0 in favor of the Flyers. This is Dayton football on YouTube Live. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. And what a first half it's been, both offensively and defensively for the Dayton Flyers. Leading the Fairmont State Fighting Falcons 35-0. Falcons, meanwhile, trying to get something going here offensively. They'll go with a run play up the middle. And Ricky Hunt Jr. will pick up a couple yards, but that's about it. And now a timeout is going to be taken by Dayton.
Timeout Dayton. Their first of the half, 30 seconds.
That's interesting coming off of the 2-minute kind of timeout, but you don't question the coach that's up 35-0.
Please
What he's
reset
doing
the
is
game
really
clock
working.
to 1 minute, 57 seconds, 1:57.
I don't really fault Coach Andrews for doing that, actually, because, let's face it, this is the first game of the season, and he wants to be able to get as many guys in there as possible,
100%.
both veterans and young guys as well. You don't want to, no disrespect to Fairmont State, you don't want to call this an exhibition game per se, but you're talking about an FCS team taking on a Division II team. There's going to be a little bit of a talent gap there.
Yes.
Not to say that Fairmont State doesn't have bad players or anything like that, but people were expecting a big margin of victory for the Flyers in this game. You're just getting guys reps at this point.
100%, and that's what I immediately thought about. You're just trying to get your guys in, make sure they're on the same page, especially with the punt. Just make sure your guys are getting in, and you're going to go into half kind of the same you are now.
This ball will go behind Kelly, trickle inside the 20, inside the 15, tumble, all the way down to about the 11-yard line. So Flyers will have some time to work with here. Minute 46, couple timeouts. Already up big, 35-0, but I'm sure Trevor Andrews would like to add a little bit more before his team heads to the locker room.
Yeah, I mean now if you can drive down the field, control the clock, what you don't, unless you score kind of quickly, you don't want to give Fairmont State the ball back, even though you're still up. But now you want to see your guys execute in kind of a 2-minute situation. I don't know if you do the hurry up offense, but if you can go with a field goal and go into half scoring some points there, this would be add to your kind of like. You'll be happy with that.
Dylan Fitzpatrick, another running back for the Flyers, getting some action as he'll chug up the middle.
Yeah, and I can kind of see them starting to rotate other guys in and, kind of get in there and let guys get to the fire.
Shondelmeyer, back to pass. He's going to heave a deep one, and that one is going to be incomplete. Boy, there was a lot of contact between Laco and Quadir Lockett-Smith that time, but no flag, and that'll lead to 3rd and long.
Yeah, that was kind of like mutual hand fighting, right? They was both pushing back and forth and trying to get position. Laco's trying to get over the top, and he did a great job of not letting him do that right there.
So now it's 3rd and 10. Shondelmeyer looking for some good protection here. He'll go back to pass, roll to his left. The throw is complete to Laco. And that should be enough for a Flyer first down. So many different ways to get Laco the ball.
Oh, my goodness. You can hide him. You can put him in the backfield. You can hide him in the slot. You can put him at number 1 receiver. So it's great. And Shondelmeyer right there showed poise. He kind of rolled out opposite, was able to go through his progression and hit the guy right there on the sideline. Great play call right there.
1st and 10, Flyers at their own 25-yard line. Shondelmeyer feeling some heat, and the catch is made. And great awareness that time as well by Musari. He makes the catch, and I'm going to go get out of bounds.
Just going to get out of bounds, right? And I think that's one thing you want to see. Like I said, when you're up kind of like this, 35-0, you just want to make sure your guys still do the small things right? You want to make sure, okay, if we have a 2-minute situation and the game's tied, what would you do?
Shondelmeyer looking to move the offense down the field once again. Catch is made, out of bounds. First down for the Flyers as the reception was made by Leroy Lewis IV. He's a junior out of Indianapolis.
Yeah, and if you're Fairmont State, you're telling your guys, hey, keep them from getting out of bounds. Keep everything, shoot the gun outside, let them, so to say, go, push them back inside, keep them in bounds, let this play clock going, let's go into halftime as quick as we can.
Shondelmeyer in the gun, back to pass, another pass, complete to Musari. Boy, this is looking clinical at this point as Musari once again makes the catch, once again goes out of bounds. You don't really need to use timeouts when your offense is clicking like this.
This is textbook 7-on-7, 2-minute drill. Let's just throw the guys, get out of bounds, take the yards the defense gives us, and march down the field.
Shondelmeyer will hand off, and the play is blown dead.
Fairmont State call a timeout?
Timeout, Fairmont State.
You'd
Their
be
second
correct,
of the
partner.
half, 30 seconds.
Yeah, they.
I think that's more of a timeout to just let them catch their breath a little bit.
100%, because they were starting to put their foot on the gas and march down the field. And this is right when you call that timeout. That's a great timeout by Fairmont State's coach. Hey guys, settle in, settle down. We got a minute left of this half. Let's just get off the field, right? They're throwing things to the sidelines. They're stepping out. They're not really getting any yards after catch. It's just pitch and catch to the sideline. So you're telling your DBs, I don't know if you call it a different defense, but you're telling your guys, hey, stand on the sideline, make the tackle, and let's go into halftime and reevaluate and regroup.
Speaking of halftime, we'll have the halftime show for you, provided by the University of Dayton Marching Band.
But I like that University of Dayton is still passing the ball and still kind of just marching down the field. I love that play call and that confidence, and you want to get your guys some exposure.
Sean O'Meyer takes the snap, he'll throw, a little bubble screen, and that'll pick up some positive yards. Boy, there were a lot of players trying to rip at that ball, but Paul Kelly, junior out of Kingsmill, Ohio, held on, and some positive yardage coming off of that reception.
Yeah, now, I mean, you just, as Dayton, Schottenmeyer, you're just calling stuff to get reps in the game. That's all you're doing right now. You're just calling plays to see how they're going to react in game time.
Sean O'Meyer with another quick pass and another first down and another catch by Donovan Weatherly, who's already had a standout game, 2 receiving touchdowns in this first half. And now a timeout is going to be taken, it looks like, by the Flyers.
Yeah,
Timeout, Dayton. Their second of the half, 30 seconds.
I love that timeout because now, okay, you're marching down the field. We got 30 seconds left. Now we're telling our guys, I can imagine, okay, this is what we're going to do if we get the ball and we get it and the clock's still running. This is what we're going to do if we run out of bounds. So you kind of prepping them, giving them a couple options for how the scenarios may play out. So that lets you play fast. So that's a great timeout by Andrews there. And I mean, I bet he's just so happy because this team is executing everything that he's calling out, and it just makes it so nice to see.
Sean O'Meyer, 13 of 21 through the air, 190 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, and that completion percentage, 62%.
Yeah, him and the receivers are on the same page.
Sean O'Meyer, once again, back in the gun, and this time it'll be a run play. And cutting it up across field, across the 25. That's a nice run that time by Mikey Hess, showing off some of that speed that we were talking about earlier. And a fresh set of down for the Flyers. And now they're looking to go here with under 30 seconds to play here in the second half.
Yeah, and by them getting the first down, the clock stops until the ball is set. So that makes it easy right there.
Sean O'Meyer. No, it's the Hess that had the snap. Now he hands to Sean O'Meyer. Sean O'Meyer is going to run, and he'll just simply take it out of bounds. The play was designed to go to the end zone, but everybody got covered. So Sean O'Meyer doing the smart thing and just simply running out of bounds to conserve time.
Yes, get out of bounds so you don't have to call a timeout. Get as many yards as you can, whether that's 1 or 2. But once again, that was the play call that he called, and hey, we're going to call this run, and then we're going to run right up to the line of scrimmage and call this play next. So once again, he's showing full capabilities and full confidence and full control of the offense, and it's looking like it's going to be a great year if they can keep this up.
Ball at the 22-yard line of the Falcons. 15 seconds to go here in the first half. Sean O'Meyer back to pass to the end zone. Incomplete. Mazzari is wanting a flag, and he will get it as it's thrown at the 8-yard line. So this will help UD's cause quite a bit here in the closing seconds of the first half.
Yeah, he was able to push up the field and cut across the DB's face, and the DB just put his hand out and grabbed him. And as a defensive back coach and everything, you say, hey, I'd rather give up 15 than 6, right?
True.
So I'd rather give up 15 than 6.
Pass
if you get beat, pull.
Defense, number 25. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Spencer Adderley.
Yeah. Give up 15 and 6. We can play another down. You never know what happened on the next down. Yeah, he just got it beside him, grabbed him, and I mean, at this point, kind of what can you do, right? It's just you get beat, get the 15-yard penalty, and we'll play another down.
So now it's 1st and goal. Flyers have it at the Falcons' 9-yard line, looking to cap off what has been a spectacular first half here at Welcome Stadium. Sean O'Meyer once again in the shotgun. Puts a man in motion. Takes the snap. Throws. End zone. And it is incomplete. Boy, Going up to try to make the circus catch that time was R.J. Shepard, but the sophomore from Hamilton, Ohio, just wasn't quite able to reel it in.
Yeah, great play call, great throw. That's a tough catch to make. You're kind of going in the air. He tried to catch it with his body. He jumped high enough to do that, and sometimes as a defender, your hands can kind of interfere with the ball in there. But great play right there. Once again, with where University of Dayton started this drive, to march down the field and get a field goal attempt, you're happy with that.
This will be a short attempt here for David Maurer. Out of Cincinnati, kick is away, it is up, and it is good. The former Elder product knocking it through for the Flyers with 2 seconds to go here in the first half, 38-0 in favor of the Flyers.
They are clicking on all cylinders. This is something that when you go into halftime now, you're excited because you are executing on a high level. This is everything you practice all week. Your guys are executing, but you just, once again, now you're like, hey, we have to be able to play with the lead, and we have to be able to still execute the same level, even though we have a lead.
All you have to do is take a look at the team stats. Total offensive yards, Dayton is knocking on the door of 300. Meantime, Fairmont State, they're knocking on the door of 100. 298 to 97 to be more specific. Rushing yards, Dayton as a team has already gone over 100 in that regard. Passing yards, they're quickly approaching 200 in that. And also, too, I think third downs have been pretty big as well in this game, Josh, in that Fairmont State, they've been turning the ball over. They haven't been picking up a lot of third down conversions. The Flyers, meanwhile, they keep moving down the field.
Yeah, and that just that puts pressure on the defense, and that just wears the defense down. When you get third down and you're kind of expecting to get off the field and they extend the drive, and then your offense goes out the field and there's a turnover, now you're back on the field, it just wears you down like, as a defense. So if you're University of Dayton and Coach Andrew, you are ecstatic with the way they played outside of the penalties.
Yes.
Now, that's something you're going to talk about, and you want to have something to kind of nitpick on the penalties, but as far as a whole, it's looking great.
At last drive, 11 plays, 80 yards, only a minute 44 off the clock, culminating in the field goal by Maurer. And that will just be a kneel down at the 12-yard line, and both teams, well, hold on a minute, 1 second remains on the clock. So I get what Gage Michael was trying to do right there, but he needed to wait just a second more. So now Fairmont State's offense will have to come back onto the field. The numbers don't lie. You know, we were talking moments ago about first downs. The Flyers, they have picked up 17 total first downs. Fairmont State only was 6.
Yeah, when you pick up 17 first downs, that's just extending drives. That's kind of like, let's say in basketball, keep getting offensive rebounds.
Yes.
You just give your guys more opportunities to score. You're keeping it on that side of the field. You're wearing down Fairmont State's defense. So, I mean, you can't be happier.
Fairmont State will simply take a knee, and that'll
That's the
bring
end
us
of the first
to
half.
halftime. Coming up, you'll see the University of Dayton Marching Band perform at halftime here at Welcome Stadium. But in the meantime, big lead for the Flyers. Dayton leading Fairmont State 38-0. This is a presentation of Dayton Flyers football on YouTube Live.
Please start the halftime clock.
The University of Dayton Marching Band is under the direction of Professor Kenneth Will. The assistant director is James Leslie. The color guard coordinator is Sarah Hoffman. Our drum majors are Sarah George, Daphne Loffesweiler, and Luke Wilson. Our CEO is Gavin Ryder and assistant Molly Urey. Students, alumni, family, and friends, the University of Dayton is proud to present the Pride of Dayton. For more than 2 decades, the Warped Tour has delivered summer sun, skateboarding, and the soundtrack of a generation. Today, the Pride of Dayton turns halftime into a festival with My Chemical Romance's Teenagers. In 1961, Bruce Channel got out his harmonica and recorded a song that went to #1 on the Billboard charts, and today it's still a hit with the Pride of Dayton, and it's Hey Baby. ladies and gentlemen, the pride of Dayton.
All right, fans, it's trivia time. Scan the QR code on the screen to play along.
all my boss boys. Shout to all my boss boys. We rowdy. Shout to all my boss boys. Shout to all my boss boys. We rowdy. Shout to all my.
What a first half it was for the Dayton Flyers. 38-0 lead over the Fighting Falcons of Fairmont State. Alongside Josh Copeland, I'm Charlie Danis, and boy, there were plenty of offensive fireworks in that first half for the Flyers. Flyers were able to get it started thanks to Donovan Weatherly, who scored from 8 yards out, gave them an early 7-0 lead, and then a pair of rushing touchdowns by Luke Hansen was able to add to the lead a little bit here, as Hansen was able to show some moves here on the outside. Hansen, part of that 1-2 punch at running back along with Mason Hackett. He's been able to find the end zone a couple of times. And here's the second touchdown by Hansen as he's able to find pay dirt. The Flyers are really hoping that they can have a healthy season out of the Indianapolis, Indiana native. Then it was Mason Hackett's turn as he was able to cut it upfield. And he was able to eventually find the end zone. 3 rushing touchdowns on the day for the Flyers. Back to the air they went. And again, it was Drew Weatherly showing off some moves on his way to the end zone. His second receiving touchdown of the day. You add that with a David Maurer 32-yard field goal to end the half, and that has allowed the Flyers to have this big lead at the half.
Yeah, they're clicking on all cylinders on offense. They're the two-headed monster with Hansen and Hackett back there. They're controlling the clock. You have, let me see the passing yards with Schardenberg. He's 190 yards, 13 for 22, 2 touchdowns, 61. So he's back there. He has control of the offense. The receivers are getting open. Defense is playing well. So all in all, a great first half. They started off slow a little bit, but once again, it's like the boxing match. You're just throwing some jabs, see what they do, see what you can attack. So all in all, great first half for the UD Flyers out here, and a great way to start the season.
108 rushing yards as a team for the Flyers in the first half. Schandelmeyer 13 of 22 through the air for 190 yards and a couple passing touchdowns. Great first half for Donovan Weatherly, the senior wide receiver, with 4 catches for 93 yards and 2 scores. Meanwhile, it was a rough first half for Fairmont State offensively. Nino Marzullo, 6 of 18 through the air, 44 passing yards, and not 1, not 2, but 3 interceptions in that first half. That Dayton defense was flying all over the field and was giving Marzullo fits.
Yeah, they were causing havoc on the D-line, getting pressure in there. And for a dual-threat quarterback, he doesn't have many rushing yards at all. I don't think he has any on the card. So when you're able to contain a rushing quarterback like a dual-threat quarterback and a team that likes to run the ball, you force them to pass the ball, especially when you get up early. And that puts them in just an uncomfortable situation where they have to now.
Flyers will be kicking off with David Maurer to do the booting.
Yeah, and now they have to just go into a different part of the offense that they didn't want to do so early, right? When you're running the ball, now you're using the pass game to complement the run game, but when that's taken away, as University of Dayton have, now you have to rely solely on the pass to get back into this game.
So Fairmont State, who, oh, by the way, is still looking for their first third down conversion of this game. They went 0 of 8 in that first half. Flyers, meanwhile, 3 of 6 in that category. They're going to be looking to get some traction offensively in this second half. Flyers, meanwhile, will look to keep it going as we're underway here in the second half. It will bounce into the end zone. It will be a touchback as the ball will come out to the 25-yard line. This is the first game of the season for both of these teams and the first time that they have matched up with one another. Fairmont State from Fairmont, West Virginia, about an hour and a half south of Pittsburgh, PA. Dayton will have a bye week next week, and then they will welcome in Thomas More. We'll have that game for you here on YouTube Live coming up on September 12th, 12 p.m. kickoff, so be sure to tune in for that game as well. And now the Flyers just looking to keep it going here, looking to stay fresh both on offense and defense. And we're going to see a lot of guys rotate in here in this second half as Marzullo uncorks a deep one, and that is going to be incomplete. A flag is going to be thrown, and I think this is going to be pass interference on Dayton's Jazz Boykin.
Yeah, Boykin, he got beat right there on him. He got his eyes in the backfield. Kind of the receiver kind of ran by him there, and that's
Pass
when
interference. Defense number 7. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Yeah, and that's one of those plays, once again, like I said, you'd rather give up 15 than 6, right, when you get beat like that. But once again, he got there a little early. He didn't turn his head as a DB. When you get there and you kind of early and it's underthrown, the receiver's going to stop a little sooner than you think, so you got to make sure you get your head around there. But once again, I'd rather give up 15 than 6 and live to fight another day.
Rilo Wesley, the intended target on the play. A little run play here and showing a little bit of burst, getting off of some tacklers inside the 35, inside the 30, all the way down to the 25-yard line. By far the best run of the day for Joshua Jones as the freshman from Scottsdale, Georgia, got loose on that play for a big Falcons first down.
Yeah, he cut back and he kind of gets lost there, right? He kind of bounces around, comes out, was able to break some tackles, and here he goes. He gets the ball again off the left edge.
And Jones will take it inside the 10 into the end zone for a touchdown. As a injured Flyer is down on the field at about the 16-yard line. So, boy, very quickly the Falcons, they're able to get on the board.
Officials timeout for an injured player.
Yeah, he was able to get out there, get a sweep out to the outside. Great block right there by the receiver. And he's just able to come up and kind of run and get it in the end zone, get on the board. That's how you kind of want to start if you're Fairmont State out the gate at halftime. Talking to guys, hey, keep fighting. And hopefully, the guy out there for University of Dayton is okay out there on the ground.
That's Emmanuel Hardrake, who had a good first half. Shows some very good physicality coming up and making the tackle from his defensive back spot. Luckily for him, he's jogging back to the sideline, so he seems to be okay. But wow, how about that? We talked just a moment ago how the Falcons need to get something going offensively. They did that through their run game.
Yeah, they kind of punched early, right? They kind of got there. They had off high tempo, got able to score quick. And if University of Dayton kind of got punched in the mouth right out the gate, and you kind of like, whoa, hold on now. Let's regroup now. Let's get out here and make sure, I'm pretty sure the defense coordinator and our defensive coaches are going to be talking to the guys, hey, don't let off the gas. Even though we're up, we still got to finish.
Emmanuel Richardson able to knock through that point after. So, just like that, the Falcons get on the board, but they're still down big as the Flyers lead this game 38-7, a little over 30 seconds into the second half of this game. Boy, you could not have asked for a better day weather-wise here in the Miami Valley. Temperatures in the low 80s today. Yeah, there are a few clouds overhead, but don't have to worry about the wet stuff coming through here. It's been a very wet month of August here in the state of Ohio, but a good week of weather leading up to this game, and could not have asked for a better start to this college football season. So now the Flyers coming off of what was a very quick scoring drive for Fairmont State. Only took 2 plays, 75 yards and 36 seconds off the clock. Now the offense comes back onto the field, and boy, there were plenty of highlights to go along with that. Dayton offense.
Yeah, Schottenmeyer was back there. He was able to. He was in cruise control. He was able to pass the ball, get completions. The two-headed monster, Hanson and Hacker back there, was able to get yards rushing. So I'm interested to see how they come back this second half and what they choose to do and call, and get some more points on the board.
From the goal line, this is a return by Leroy Lewis the fourth, and showing some big bursts right there. I can see why this young man is the kick returner, as he nearly got to the 40-yard line that time. Leroy Lewis the fourth.
Oh, great return there. He was able to hit the seam. He was able to get the ball. You kind of get it right there on the hash marks. And once again, when you turning on kicks, you want to kind of hit a seam and go. He was able to hit a crease, great blocking. And that's when you talk about complementary football, right? There's three phases of football: offense, special teams, and defense. And when all of them are clicking at the same time, you're a hard team to beat.
So Schottenmeyer had a very nice first half, throwing the football. And that Flyer offense back onto the field. Give to Hackett. Hackett looking for a hole. Breaks a couple of tacklers, and he is able to get out to about the 44-yard line. Mason Hackett. Hackett, Hanson, you got that speed with those other young guys behind there. Plenty of options for this Flyers run game.
Yeah, and that's such a good, especially when you're up, to have a good run game, to have multiple guys you can put in to keep fresh, to keep pressure on the defense. That just helps to when you, if you want to win the PFL and you want to have a championship season, you have to learn how to win, play with the lead, win with the lead, and also put the team away.
Oh boy, trickery play coming up here. Locko, the former high school quarterback, takes the snap, and he will run to his left, and he's got a lot of running room. Puts a move on a guy inside the 35, down to the 34-yard line. Yet another example of how this guy can be used within this Flyers offense.
Yeah, I mean, he played high school quarterback. You get him the ball, and anytime he wants, makes a cut up the field there. We're able to keep his balance a little bit with stumbling, try to cut back. But when you get the ball in his hands, special things happen. So the more you can do that, the better chance your offense has of getting in position to score. And, I mean, he's just a great guy to have on the team.
So now it's 1st and 10 for the Flyers. They're at the Falcons' 33-yard line. Schottenmeyer will hand off to Hackett. Hackett bounces off a tackler and trying to do the same around the 31-yard line, but this time a very good tackle made in the open field by Gavin Smith. He's a senior defensive back out of Antioch, Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, great open field tackle there. You have him bouncing outside, and you want to make sure you can get the guy down, right? And I think if you're Fairmont State, your offense went on the field, you scored. Now you're just trying to contain the UD offense, right? You can't really stop them because they're clicking on all cylinders, but now you got to contain it and make it hard to get first downs and move the ball.
Hackett still in it, tailback for the Flyers. Schottenmeyer with a quick throw, complete inside the 30, down to about the 28-yard line. That is complete to Carson Lebensky. He's a senior tight end out of Spring Valley, Ohio. Played his high school ball at nearby Bellbrook, and he had a key block on one of those runs for Hanson in the first half.
Yeah. When you have a tight end that can block and catch, that just adds, I mean, University, they have so many weapons, and you don't know how they're going to attack you. And so if you take away the receiver, you take away Lockett, you have Massar. You take away him, you have Lockett. You have the running backs, you have the tight end. It just makes it so hard to compete against.
Schottenmeyer in the gun. He will hand to Locko. Locko trying to find some room, but there is nothing there. The protection just wasn't there for Locko that time. As Javante Wilson came up to make the tackle for Fairmont State. And now this is where things are going to get interesting for Dayton going forward. The kicking situation wasn't exactly stable in fall camp, so don't be surprised to see them go for 4th down on plays such as these. Schottenmeyer with a throw. It is caught. Complete inside the 20-yard line. And the first 4th down conversion of the day for the Flyer offense, as Ethan Thulin, the senior out of Downers Grove, Illinois, with the reception. 1st down, Dayton.
Yeah, if you're having some issues with kicking early, especially in camp, and you come in, you want to make sure your guy has confidence. So you don't want to put him in position where you have to kick a 40, 50-yard field goal. You want to make sure, hey, if we can get off the field, especially being up in the way your defense is playing, you can afford to kind of gamble on 4th down and hopefully get it. And if not, you put your defense on the field. But they was able to convert on that one.
Hackett on Schottenmeyer's right hip in the shotgun. He'll hand to Hackett, and Hackett trying to get through a wave of Falcons, but not able to, as he's eventually wrestled down to the ground by Karan Watiz, the senior defensive back out of Maryland.
The thing I love about Hackett is even though it seemed like he was down, he was still trying to fight for the extra yards. Even though the guy had him and he's holding him up, he's still trying to fight. And that's what you want to see, especially a senior running back. You know, they talked about brace for impact and kind of landing the plane. He's giving everything he has for his guys, and you can't help but love a teammate like that.
Loss of 1 on that previous play. Hackett put in motion. And the give is to Laco once again. Laco trying to find some room. Almost split it that time as he tumbles down to about the 15-yard line. So now it'll be 3rd and manageable upcoming here for the Flyer offense.
Laco's such a special guy. He reminds me of Julian Edelman when he was with the Patriots. And
yeah.
They would just use him in every spot. He was a college quarterback. He was able to throw. They had double passes. They put him at slot. They put him at running back. So he's like a utility back and somebody like that. And he's just a football player. Just put him on the field and let him go. So he's such a weapon for the University of Dayton.
Always nice to have a Swiss Army knife in the toolbox. Schondelheimer,
Sure.
back to pass, throws, and it is complete. Did he get a foot down? They're going to say no. Muzari made the catch with his hands, wasn't able to drag the necessary foot, so that play will go incomplete.
Yeah, I mean, great play call, great read, a little bit throw outside, but once again, that's just the timing of the things. We talked about it earlier when offense is such built on timing with offense and quarterback and receivers. So when first game of the season, you're just working through those little things.
So David Maurer will come out for the field goal attempt. He hit a 32-yarder towards the end of the first half. This one a little bit longer. Kick is up, away, and it is good. So Maurer, a perfect 2 of 2 on the day. Flyers add to their lead, 41-7 in favor of Dayton, with 8:58 to go here in the 3rd quarter. We'll step aside for just a moment. This is Flyers football on YouTube Live.
Flyer fans, the future Flyers Kick Club registration will be opening soon. In the meantime, don't miss out on your chance to be named FFKC Member of the Month. Snag a picture of your future Flyer and enter them for the FFKC fan wall. We will select 10 entries to be recognized on social media from September to June. And that's not all. One photo entry will be randomly selected to receive a free 2026-27 FFKC membership. Scan the QR code.
41-7, excuse me, in favor of the Flyers, with 8:58 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Alongside Josh Copeland, Charlie Danis. Happy opening day. This is the first Saturday of college football. Week 0 technically. Week 1 will be next week, but hey, college football is back in the air. Gotta love it.
You gotta love it. I mean, it's like you talked about earlier today, man. It's such great weather, great atmosphere here, great home crowd. You couldn't ask for a better start to the football season.
This will be a return for Fairmont State. Tyreek Spikes, and Spikes with a couple of spin moves out to the 30-yard line. Strong return that time for Spikes, who is redshirt junior from Cincinnati, Ohio. Went to Tiffin High School, so this is a little bit of a homecoming.
A little bit of homecoming. I've probably got some family here to make the drive up to see him. But great return. Now, if you're University of Dayton, if you're the defense, you kind of got out there. They jumped on you early to start the half. They scored in 2 plays. So now you're just like, hey, I know we're up. Let's not take the foot off the gas. Let's not get complacent. Let's still add the pressure and get off the field.
Marzullo back to pass, and he's going to be taken down. Share a sack, gentlemen, as combining on the sack that time was Griffin Surin and Zane Plattner. That pocket just collapsed.
It just collapsed on him. They was able to push the target. Both tackles got pushed back, and they was able to. He had to step up in the pocket there. We had our old linebacker coach would always say, when you're up early and you have your ears pinned back, if I don't beat you there, I'll meet you there in the backfield, and that's what that was. They had a bunch of guys back there making plays.
Party at the quarterback.
Yes,
as there will be a run up the middle, and that will be a tackle made on the play by Colin Ansell. Now here's a guy, senior defensive end out of Columbus, Ohio, former Upper Arlington Bear. here's a guy that's expected to be a leader, a playmaker on that Dayton defensive line.
Yeah, I mean, when you have somebody who's been here who's going to be a leader, and you have to make plays when you're up. These are the guys that step up to say, hey, we're not letting off the gas. We are still down here, and you can follow a guy like that that's still going to fight no matter what it is.
3rd and long, another sack for that Flyer defense. Flying in to make the play, Joe Kingsbury, who also has an interception on the day. Way to go, Joe.
Gosh, I can't wait to show this replay, see this replay. You're going to see the D lineman step up and drop back into coverage. So you see him drop back into coverage, and that took the quarterback's eyes. He didn't know where the blitz was coming from because the D-line dropped back. Free hit on the quarterback, if you will. Great play call right there in that situation.
So Joe Kingsbury, interception, a sack. You love those days as a linebacker,
Oh,
right?
my gosh. I love them because you blitzing off the edge and you blitzing sending somebody, and the D-line kind of steps up to take control, occupy the O-line for a second, then drops back. You get a free hit in there.
Kelly catches it on a line into Falcon territory, spinning his way down to the 40-yard line. Boy, sometimes you got to play that ball like a center fielder in baseball. It's coming right at you. You got to make the catch, and then you got to boot scoot it upfield.
Yeah, being a punt returner is so scary because you got everybody coming at you. You got a couple guys on block, but to show the fearlessness to get up there, run, and get the ball when you know you're going to get hit on the run, I mean, that's a guy you love.
So this is now the time where we're going to see some backups in for the Flyers, at least offensively, as Luke Pennington, sophomore quarterback out of Lexington, Kentucky, comes in along with the rest of the second-team offense for the Flyers. It'll be a handoff off to the left. And this is some very good yards picked up down towards the 30-yard line. And with the tote that time for the Flyers, Noah Spencer, who we've already seen earlier in this game, the sophomore out of Jackson, Tennessee.
I mean, this is how you would draw it up, though, right? If you're up and now you get some guys, some young guys in, some maybe second-string guys, you get them critical game time reps. So now, because you're going to need these guys, you're going to make a championship run, you're going to need everybody, all the depth to have experience in games so you can trust them out there. So this is nothing more than just getting our guys out there so we can put them in the fire and see what they do.
Another handoff, another good run. Nice job of absorbing the initial contact and then keeping it going down to the 25. Not only does this guy have speed, but Noah Spencer has some toughness to him as well.
He has. I mean, he took a big hit there and was able to keep his balance and fight for some more yards. So, I mean, just when you think you have two guys out, and Hanson and Hackett, you have Spencer coming in here and able to make it. So they have depth at running back, which is huge if you're going to make a championship run.
Luke Pennington in the pistol formation. 3 wide receivers to work with as the second-team offense out there on the field for the Flyers. Pennington will hand off. Another run play off to the left. And good yardage inside the 20 and out of bounds around the 29-yard line or so. What's standing out to you about Spencer as we keep seeing him run the football?
Oh, he's explosive, he's fast, he has balance, and he doesn't shy away from contact. So those are things that, especially as a running back, when you get your chance and opportunity, you have to capitalize on it, and he's showing that, hey, you can trust me to run the ball. I can take a hit, I can keep my balance, and I can fall forward. So if Hanson or Hackett need a break, you know you have a reliable guy in there that you can kind of give the ball to keep up. 1st
and 10. Flyers have it at the Falcons' 19-yard line. And they're going to give it to him once again. Inside the 20, down to about the 18-yard line or so. As that'll be another carry for Noah Spencer. Flyers have used a whole bunch of running backs, even in the first half when they were up big. I believe they've had 5 different running backs tote the rock at some point, and that doesn't even count Gavin Locko taking a turn at running back.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things when you're up, you have to learn how to play with the lead, right? And you learn how to eat the clock up. O-linemen, they would love this because now they don't have to pass block. They just get downhill, and you get to push around. So I love how they're getting these young guys in there, guys that haven't had a chance to play.
Play fake. Pass over the middle. Is that an interception? Fairmont State says yes. We're going to see what the ruling is, and it is. They're going to rule that an interception. They're going to give the interception to Gavin Smith, as the intended target on the play was Leroy Lewis, the 4th.
Okay, I think threw it a little bit late, and that
The ruling
just
on the
allowed,
field is the defender had possession of the ball on the ground for an interception. First down, Fairmont State.
No, actually, that was a great play by the defender there. I mean, it was a great read. He threw the ball. The defender was able to just cut it off and make a great diving play there. I mean, that's one of the things you kind of coach up. Maybe you say, hey, if you see the defender on the front side, you kind of throw it back, kind of, even though it's a slant, hit him on the back hip. But that's things you can coach up.
So now Fairmont State's offense back onto the field. Pass complete to the 10-yard line. And this is a guy that's had a couple of explosive plays today for Fairmont State. James Borber, the running back out of Hyattsville, Maryland.
Yeah, great play, great way to just get him the ball, right? Especially when you're down and you haven't had a lot of success or momentum going in offense. How can we get our playmakers the ball the fastest, right? Get it out the quarterback's hands, let them go make a play, and let's have some things to build on for next week.
Now another run play. This time Barber, he's balled up. Didn't really have a lot of running room that time as combining on the tackle. Let's see here, Vito Pominesa and Zane Plattner. Boy, we've been calling Zane Plattner's name a ton today.
He's been flying around the ball. He's been all over the place, and that's what you love to see. I mean, defense is such as much as it's scheming and it's everything, it's such an effort position, if you will, as defense as a whole, right? You have to love to tackle. You have to love to get in there. You have to love to put your nose in there, and that's what he loves to do. So you call his name a lot because he's always around the ball.
Another run play, and this time not a lot of running room for Ricky Hunt Jr.
Great play right there for the safety to come up and make the tackle. Once again, the thing I love about Dayton's DBs, they might be a new group considered in the whole scheme of the defense, but they're not afraid to tackle.
What does that do for the confidence of the linebackers, knowing that your guys behind you are not afraid to deliver a big hit?
Oh, it's everything, because now the linebackers know they don't have to try to make every tackle, right? I can get in my gap and trust that my DBs are going to make the tackle behind me, and they're not scared to.
Another run up the middle for Fairmont State as Joe Kingsbury makes another tackle for that UD defense. Boy, Kingsbury's had a heck of a game. A sack and an interception.
Oh man, these are games that you kind of hope for and you know they're in there, but now you have them. It makes it so nice and definitely good film to watch.
A fake toss as really scooting up the field that time was Marzullo. We haven't really seen Marzullo run with the football all that much. We were told that, you know, this is a dual threat guy. He can beat you with his arm. He can beat you with his legs. But we haven't seen a lot of running out of him today.
Yeah, University of Dayton, their D-line kind of took that out of play, right? Especially in the offense when you get up early and you have the dual threat quarterback like Marzullo, that you don't let him get comfortable back there. You force him. You make him one-dimensional, and that's what he's been since the second quarter, is having to throw the ball.
Another run play. Kingsbury, nearly with another tackle, as eventually he's taken down at about the 35-yard line. Chasing after him was Zane Plattner, who seemingly has been all over the field.
He's been all over the field.
And there's some laundry back at the 30-yard line, so interesting seeing what this call is going to be from John Shea, our head referee, who was quite voluble in the first half. We saw some key penalties here and there in the first half.
Yeah, and I mean, that's to be expected. It's the first game of the season, first quarter, so you expect some penalties there.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense number 78. 15-yard penalty, third down.
Brady Courtney, the junior out of the Windy City of Chicago, with the penalty.
Yeah, sometimes, especially old linemen, and it's frustrating. You kind of do a little extra at the end of a play. You kind of maybe finish a block a little bit more. You kind of do something else, jump on a pile, hit somebody. Just things get a little chippy, especially if you're down and you're just trying to fight. But I'm going to go back to a question you asked about the DBs and how it helps the linebackers, right? Because if you don't have a DBs that you know are coming up to run, the linebackers feel like they have to make every tackle. So then they're out of gaps. They're out of the scheme of the defense because they feel like if I don't make this tackle, we're going to give up 8 to 10 yards. But when you have that, the linebackers can trust, okay, I got to get in my run fit, and I can stay here because I know my DB is going to come up and make a tackle.
There are levels of defense, aren't there?
There's levels of defense, and when everything's working together, it makes a strong defense, and that's what the University of Dayton is showing right now.
So now it's 3rd down and 15. Fairmont State at their own 15-yard line. Marzullo back to pass. He'll throw over the middle, and it's picked off. The fourth interception of the day for the Flyer defense, tackled at the 28-yard line. That interception is going to go to Parker Cheney, the junior out of Lexington.
Great way to read the quarterback's eyes when you're up and you can just drop back in the zone and you just say, hey, read the quarterback's eyes. Defense line he threw it kind of a little behind the receiver there, but that's one of the things you just tell the guys, hey, eyes on the quarterback, D-line go get there, and you just react. As soon as he takes his hand off the ball, breaking the ball, and that's what he was able to do for the fourth interception for the UD Flyers.
This young secondary with a lot of newcomers for this Flyers defense. Boy, they have certainly shown out today against Fairmont State. It's another run play for the Flyers and another new running back in there. We saw Dylan Fitzpatrick a little bit in the first half, junior out of North Barrington, Illinois, back at it for the Flyers as he's able to pick up some yards.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the things, like, this is just to get stuff on tape, right? Especially when you have a win in this, or you're winning in this fashion, and you're just looking for now, let's get coaching tape. Let's get these guys on the field. Let's get the backup second string guys in, what it may be. Let's get them some valuable film so now we can rely on them later on in the season if they have to go in the game for some reason.
Closing seconds of the third quarter. And it's another run, this time to the right. As Dylan Fitzpatrick is getting some reps here, and that'll take us to the end of the third quarter. We head to the fourth quarter. Flyers up big, 41-7 over the Falcons. This is a presentation of Dayton football here on YouTube Live.
Fire fans, it's time for the UD Prize Patrol. Your teams will be throwing out features into the crowd to the loudest fans. So make some noise, win a prize, courtesy of Care Tour.
Oh, they're dancing all over Welcome Stadium, and why not? Their Flyers have been able to get things going today and have been taking care of business. Big lead over Fairmont State, 41-7 as we begin action here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, University of Dayton they've had control of this game since midway through first quarter, early second quarter. So this is just something, once again, you wanted your guys to keep fighting, to keep doing the small things, because especially when you get up, it's so easy to be like, wow, let me score. I want to get a touchdown, and not do the small things right. So this is a point where they got to really hone in on the small details.
Pennington with a throw, and it is incomplete. Popped up in the air for a moment. As his intended target that time was Ryan Martin. He's a senior wideout out of River Forest, Illinois.
Yeah, I mean, great coverage right there, but good solid throw. Could have thrown it a little bit more towards the pylon and not have him stop, but that's something with reps, though. It's, once again, it's something different. Everybody listen, it's something different for practice reps, getting in there with the ones or the twos and getting your chance, and actually game reps. Even though you're up, it's still a game. And so the nerves are still there. You still want to execute. So this is valuable lessons for the guys in there now.
Pennington of the Flyers offense go for it here on fourth down. He'll uncork one, and it's caught. Did he get the feet in? And no, he did not. We've seen a couple of instances today of Flyers wide receivers making great catches, but not being able to drag the feet down, touching down on enough green to complete the catch. And that was Paul Kelly, who was trying to make the catch at that time.
Yeah, I mean, great throw, just wasn't able to get his feet down. But once again, that's just a step difference in the timing. We talked about it earlier, is when you have guys rotating in, the timing is just a tad off, right? And if he's able to maybe throw that a split second earlier, now that's the completion. But these are all things that you, watching film, these are all things that you can easily correct.
Devin Sisler in at quarterback for Fairmont State. Big run up the near sideline. Who's going to tackle him? Inside the 30, and finally, Talon Holvey, the sophomore safety out of Medina, is able to make the tackle. But a hold I think is going to be called on Fairmont State.
Might be, looks like there's some laundry there on the field for that. But great move there, though. And one of the hardest things.
Offense, number 65. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
Liam Davidson, sophomore in Mason, Ohio, with the penalty.
One of the hardest things, we talk about how good the DBs are coming up and tackling and how it just helps the defense. But one of the hardest things to do as a DB is an open field tackle. Okay, here he goes. He's coming down the field there. You kind of shoot your gun and just make an open field tackle is so tough on a speedy running back right there. So you just tell your guys, hey, you got to break down, get them down on the line of scrimmage. I mean, get them down and just kind of minimize the yardage. But that's one of the hard things to do as a safety is come down, open field, and make a tackle on the running back. That's why when they do it, it just adds to the defense.
Sisler will hand off, and basically the same play right there as Joshua Jones. Not able to pick up as much yardage on the previous carry, but still a good chunk right there. And this will bring up a second and short situation. Sisler, 6'4", 225-pound redshirt freshman, hails from Ramsey, New Jersey. So he's going to be in for the rest of this game. It was a rough afternoon for Nino Marzullo as he tossed 4 interceptions on the afternoon for Fairmont State. Sisler will hand off once again. And this time it's a different running back for Fairmont, as that was Elijah Tidwell. He's a graduate senior out of Ashburn, Virginia. You know, for a guy like Marzullo, obviously you'd like to have a much better effort in the first game of the season. What's he got to do going forward?
Yeah, I think you have to still be a leader, right? So there's an accountability factor of, okay, guys, I made the wrong read, I got this. But also it's one of those things, it's just one game, right? Even though the game is going to how it's going, hey, the guys, let's watch the film, let's make the corrections. It's going to start with me because I'm the leader, I'm the quarterback, and we're going to move forward and make the corrections needed for the rest of the season.
Sisler in the shotgun. He'll go back to pass, looking, scrambling to his right. Now he'll take off running. And Sisler showing some wheels as he gets across the 45 down to about the 46-yard line. So the backup quarterback for the Falcons making a play with his legs and a fresh set of downs for Fairmont State.
Yeah, and if you're Sisler, you just want to show the people, hey, I can be productive if I'm in the game, right? And there's a reason why Marcelo is who he is, but it's one of those things, and now you have your chance to play, right? And I kind of, it's not preseason, but I kind of compare it to preseason football. You get guys in who are kind of getting more reps in games than they normally would, and so now it's their time to show, hey, I need to be on this field, and so this is my opportunity, regardless of the score, to show you that I can do that.
Play fake to Jones. Sisler back to throw. Looking for the deep man, and he had a man, but overthrew it just a bit. His intended target was Rollo Wesley. He's a freshman wideout from Savannah, Georgia. They're expecting big things out of that guy at that wideout spot.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great route. He's a speedy guy, and this is one of the things, sometimes as a quarterback, the hardest completions to make is the open receiver because he's too open almost, and you just kind of, you get a little excited because you see the touchdown in your head. But that, I mean, that was a great route by him right there. And as a DB, you just kind of got to stay in place there.
2nd and 10. Hand off to Jones. Has to bounce off of one of his own men. And he'll eventually be taken down on the play. Combining it on the tackle. Let's see here. Ross Kopic and Jordan McKee.
Yeah, I mean, that's, once again, as Fairmont State, you are kind of treating this fourth quarter as its own game. It's like, hey, I know the game's kind of getting out of hand from a score perspective, but this fourth quarter, if we can have positive things and win this fourth quarter, we can take that as a win and go to the next game and film sessions with that.
Hey, momentum is a real thing. As Sisler Goes back to pass once again. He'll try to step up. He'll try to run with it. And he's eventually taken down on the play. Good tackle that time by Brady Hines. He's a freshman defensive lineman getting some playing time here in the 2026 opener. Hails from Monroe, Michigan.
Yeah, I mean, great play right there. Great way to foul the block and come back down the line to get the quarterback stepping up. And you talk about momentum, and most people think momentum only happens in the game. No, this is things that you can build on for the next week. These are things, and especially and you're losing 41-7, it's hard to kind of find things to be proud of in a way. But when you have this type of fourth quarter, now you can say, hey, ooh, great play.
And Sisler's pass is going to be incomplete. Intended target was Joshua Jones. But the Flyers defense is able to blow it up right there.
Yeah, that's how I was trying to finish that. They kind of came in there. A great play, flare out there. Once again, the DBs are coming up, making plays, making tackles, not being scared to get up there and get their nose dirty, if you will, in the thick of things. That always makes for, and it's exciting too, right? As a DB, if you come and make a big play, it's exciting. You make a tackle, it gets everybody riled up, and you was able to get your team off the field.
Pat McLaughlin, the sophomore out of Liberty Township, Ohio, the latest defensive back to fly in there and make his presence known. Pennington and the second team offense for the Flyers back at it. It's another run for the Flyers. This time Mikey Hess back in there, the sophomore out of Newark, Ohio. 45 and counting here in the fourth quarter. Flyers up big 41-7. You know, we talked about how Fairmont State is the Division II team making the trip to take on an FCS team. Well, Dayton, the FCS team, they're going to be taking a trip to Eastern Kentucky as they take on an FBS team. So that's going to be a challenge for the Flyers in a few years when they take on the Colonels. First, they take on Thomas More coming up in a couple weeks. That game will be here at Welcome Stadium. We'll have it here for you here on YouTube Live. Back to the run. Across the 50 down to about the 49-yard line for Hess. As the Flyers are, getting the run game going, but come on, we know that being up this big, they're just wanting to keep that clock running.
You just want to keep the clock running, make sure guys are still playing, they can still execute. But you talk about them kind of going up and playing Eastern Kentucky. Those games are always fun. Like when you go when I was at Buffalo, we would play non-conference or we would go up to a Power 5 school. Those things are always fun. It's always great to be in an environment. But then also you get to test where you are early in the season. So the third game season, they're going to go down there and test, okay, we did great things here against Fairmont State. Can we still do the same things against an opponent like Eastern Kentucky?
Pennington is able to complete a pass, and the helmet goes flying a little bit. Some words exchanged as the pass was complete to Ryan Martin, the senior out of River Forest, Illinois. Let's check the spot of the ball, and it looks like he'll be about a yard short. Let's take a look at the replay here as Martin was able to make the catch.
Way to go. Way to keep fighting. And, that's just one of those. Sometimes you get down there and you get they hit you in the back and the helmet kind of pushed forward.
That was just Shea Brown who came in on the play late, and now the Flyers looks like they're going to go for it here on this 4th and 1.
Yeah, I like this. You get 1 yard, keep the clock running, keep the drive going.
And Pennington is going to have to take it himself. Kind of a botched handoff that time. Pennington's going to be short. And the Flyers offense is going to turn it over on down, so the defense is going to have to come back onto the field that time. And, that's just one of those things that I think that you look back on the film and you just try to correct it in practice going forward.
Yeah, but that's one of the things. That's why these reps are so important in a game like this, because you can correct those and you can say, okay, this is how you do this now. This is how we do these things if we're up or down or for whatever reason. If you have to go into the game, now you know how to execute this play, right? And they can do it in real time, because once again, it's one thing to do it in practice, but when you're out here in the game time and you got the other team who don't like you, right? They're not your teammates. It makes it add a little pressure on it.
Sisler wide open at the 40, inside the 30-yard line. Sisler has been looking good here late in the game as Jules Alvarado, he's a 5'10", 175-pound redshirt senior out of Woodbridge, Virginia, with the reception, and nice pass play there for the Falcons.
Yeah, that's a good completion there. He was able to kind of do play action, get the linebackers to step up a brief second and kind of freeze them and hit them over the seam on top. But once again, those are things that you want to see from a guy, regardless of who's in playing. you still have to execute. And so with a guy coming in, filling in at quarterback, you want to make sure that you could do that at a high level.
Sisler off the play fake. He'll go take a shot to the end zone. And is that caught? Yes! Touchdown. Falcons. Great play fake there for the Fighting Falcons as they're able to find a guy in the end zone. Chico Thomas Jr., the redshirt freshman from Bolingbrook, Illinois.
Great play call, rolling out. Great throw right there. You got a tight window there over the DB. Sideline, he was able to get down. NFL catch, 2 feet down. So those are things that positive momentum we talked about that you can kind of take after this game.
And the point after is blocked, and this could be returned. Down the sideline he goes. This is going to be taken back all the way. Pat McLaughlin, the sophomore out of Liberty Township, Ohio, making the play on special teams.
When things are working, they're working, right?
Yep.
when all phases of the game are working and you can kind of give up a play on defense and special teams backs you up. This game that University of Dayton is putting together on all facets is great. You kind of see right in the middle of the field. Yep, right in the middle. They get penetration down in line, right over the center, and get in that gap and able to get his hand up for the block.
That was Vito Panessa, the junior out of Kent, Ohio, making the block. Wow.
We've called his name a couple times a day. He's been in the backfield. He's been making plays. And that's but that's the stuff that you love to see. So now the special teams meeting is going to be exciting. You got plays to show, returns, block kick. You have defense is going to have interceptions to show, big tackles. Offense is going to have some big plays to show. So this film session is going to be nice. But then also as a coach, you're like, hey, that was just one game. Let's reel it back in. Let's get ready for Thomas, and then let's get ready for Eastern Kentucky.
So Panessa with the block, and then McLaughlin with the return. 43-13 in favor of the Flyers with 8:10 to play in the fourth quarter. So you got highlights on offense, on defense, and now special teams.
Right? And that's good, especially when they have a bye week next week. So to go into a bye week and have a great game like this, that just adds to the excitement, that adds to the film, that adds to everything you want to do. So couldn't ask for a better start for the year for the Dayton Flyers.
Kick is away, and because of that special teams touchdown, the Flyers will get the ball back here. Leroy trying to return it here, and he'll take it across the 25 down to about the 27-yard line. Okay, partner. While we have a moment, with a little over 8 minutes to go, this is the start of the college football season. Who's going to end up winning the Heisman, and who's going to be your national champion?
The Heisman is going to be tough. There's so many great players out here. I'll start with national champions. I think Ohio State, the Buckeyes, are going to be hard to beat. Sands got another year, and as close as they came last year, guys are coming back. I think they're going to be hard to beat in the football season.
Pennington will hand off across the 30 down to about the 32-yard line. That's another carry for Noah Spencer. You got a host of teams this year that are definitely in the running for that national championship.
Yeah, who you got?
Oh boy, I've heard a lot of hype for Ohio State. I've heard a lot of hype for Notre Dame.
Notre Dame's a good pick.
Yeah, it's been a pick for a lot of people. I'll tell you about my pick, however, in just a moment here. As Pennington and the Flyers offense get set for this second down play. Spencer still in at tailback. Pennington in the shotgun. He'll take the snap. He'll hand to Spencer. Spencer looking for some running room. Across the 40, across the 45, and into Falcon territory. Nice scoot up the middle that time, or scoot down the sideline, I should say, by Spencer as he gets it into Falcon territory. I look at all these teams, and the one thing I look at is, okay, how many dudes are you stacking on your roster that you could legitimately say are going to be playing on NFL Sundays? And the team that stands out to me is Oregon. The Ducks have a lot of guys on the defensive side of the ball that I think we're going to be seeing played in the NFL. Dante Moore returning at quarterback as well, deciding to play one more year of college football, I think is huge for them. I think they're definitely in the running for the national championship this year. Spencer not able to find a lot of running room right there, got lost a couple of yards.
Yeah, a great penetration right there by the defense there. But I like Oregon, especially as close as they've come the last couple of years, and just being right there and not being able to get over the hump. I like Oregon there. Notre Dame's a great pick. Marcus Freeman's doing a great job there, and they have every opportunity. The schedule set up for it. They have the playmakers for it. They're going to basically a shoe-in for the playoff, and now you just got to get hot at the right time.
So now the Flyers with a 2nd and 12 coming up here. 43-13 lead for the Flyers, as they're just looking to put the finishing touches on what would be their first win of the 2026 season. Pennington with a good play fake, but unfortunately not able to complete the pass as he was trying to throw it to Ryan Martin. You know, speaking of quarterbacks, if there's one thing that is going to stand out to me, not just with this Flyer football team and not just with what we just talked about with the contenders for national championships, I think we are really entering into an era of great quarterback play.
Yes.
And I think we are going to be seeing a lot of great quarterback play across all levels of college football in 2026. I, like a lot of football fans, love the NFL draft. And there are a ton of great passers at the Division I level, at the FCS level, at the Division II level. I think this is going to be a great year when it comes to QB play here in college football in 2026. As Pennington tries to take off, but he's going to be taken down at the 46-yard line. They're already talking about the talent that's going to be coming out for this year's NFL draft, how 3, 4, 5 guys could be taken in the first round. And then you get beyond those guys and look at the depth in all these different conferences across all these different levels. Dayton, you know, an FCS team, they're blessed to have a guy in Schondelmeyer who I really think could challenge for high PFL honors within the conference. It's going to be a very fun year for quarterbacks across college football, I think. Yeah, no, I think you're exactly right. When you have the depth across the country at quarterback, this is the frustrating thing with me about, not frustrating, but just the unfortunate part about being a quarterback, there can only be one play at a time. Yes.
So when you get to an NFL team and they had the starter there for 8 years, there can only be one play at a time. So as many great quarterbacks as it is, it's such a tough position to break through because of that. So you have these guys like Schondelmeyer, who's great, who's going to put up great numbers, and I predict he's going to have a great year this year just by where the offense is going. It's tough to say, okay, where he's going to match up with at the next level because there's so many great guys, like you were saying, that can do that. But yeah, I fully expect high PFL honors going in there and making probably have a great season coming here.
Sisler's pass is complete. He was able to get it out there to Chico Thomas Jr. as he had to make the catch mere inches away from the field. I'm curious, when you were playing as a linebacker, who was the best quarterback that you played while at Buffalo?
Oh, wow. We had to play against Robert Griffin III at Baylor.
Wow. Okay. RG3. Okay.
RG3. The year before he won the Heisman, he was coming off a knee injury, and needless to say, you saw it then. He was one dual threat quarterback, kind of like this guy right here running there. But they was able to they put pressure on you fast. They had a great receiver. They fast-paced offense. We're down in Waco, Texas. We're hot. We're tired. We're coming from Buffalo.
Oh, my God. So, you had to take on an Art Briles offense, the boot, too, right?
The boot. So, I mean, it's fast-paced right there. So, he was definitely one that was good. And also, I mean, in the MAC, we played in the MAC. Just like PFL, there's great quarterbacks everywhere. Right, there's great quarterbacks everywhere. So every week it was just a battle within a great quarterback.
Approaching 4 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. Flyers up 43-13. Sisler looking to make a play with his arm down the field. Got a man caught inside the 40, down to about the 30-yard line. Boy, if I am a Fairmont State fan, you have got to get acquainted with this Rollo Wesley kid. He's got speed, and when he gets open, he can make plays.
He can make plays. Great play right there. Great poise by the quarterback there. Great throw over top of 3 defenders there. And that's one thing as a coach, you keep teaching your DBs, don't let anybody get behind you, especially if you're the safety. You have to be able to watch the route concepts and who's coming towards you and be able to stop that.
It's another run play for Fairmont State as Joshua Jones takes it to the right and picks up some good yards. Okay, you talked about playing against RG3. Who was the best MAC quarterback that you took on in conference, if you had to pick one?
That's a good question. In conference, there was a guy for Central Michigan, I believe. His name was LaFleur.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he was one of those guys that was special. And you could just tell he had it all. He was a big guy, could run, could throw. Was a pain to kind of scout against.
Jones with another good run here as he is eventually ridden out of bounds around the 11-yard line. Joshua Jones, freshman running back, with another good run here for this Fairmont State team as we tick under 3 minutes to play.
Yeah, I mean, Fairmont State, they're showing in my opinion, once again, if you just isolate the fourth quarter as its own separate game, they're winning the fourth quarter, right? They obviously, the factor is Dayton's up and you kind of putting different guys in, but you still have to execute. And we had a coach that say, no matter how you get in the game, you're in the game, right? And so no matter if we're up, down, you're in the game and you still have a job to do. So that's something for the teaching moments for University of Dayton. When you're up this kind of like this and you know the kind of the game's in the bag, you still have to have coaching moments that you can show on film to say, hey, we let the foot off the gas here.
The game is stopped for the 2-minute timeout.
That'll take us to the 2-minute timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. Flyers well on their way to a win as they lead the Falcons 43-13. This is Dayton football on YouTube Live. Yeah. Oh, God, I can't imagine.
Shaded. You know how like the home teams, they put their sidelines so the sun shades on them. So we're dead in the sun the whole game.
Two minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Flyers up big, 43-13. Alongside Josh Copeland, I'm Charlie Danis. And the Falcons trying to cap this off with a score. He throws it into the end zone, does Sisler, but that'll be incomplete as his intended target that time was Eli Sibley, redshirt freshman tight end from Frostburg, Maryland.
Yeah, great coverage right there. When you're in the red zone and they're going to throw a quick fade to a taller guy, you just want to kind of get hands, do the hand fight in the first 5 yards, turn around and just make a play on the ball. And that's what you're able to do. And that's one of those, if they make a good catch, they make a good catch. Coach, I'm in position, got my hand up, and was able to get the deflection there.
3rd and 7. For the Falcons, Sisler with a play fake. He'll throw in the flat, bobbled, and eventually tackled at the 10-yard line. Ooh, there were a lot of oohs and ahs on that play as David Curl III. He's a sophomore linebacker out of Purdue country, West Lafayette, Indiana.
Great play call great play right there. Great execution. Come up there, make a textbook tackle. We're able to get to feet, drive to feet, get the guy on the ground. Yeah, this defense is exciting to watch. They have a lot of guys who are physical. They have a lot of guys who don't shy away from contact. And most importantly, they have a lot of guys in the right position. And that's what you want to see in a defense.
Sisler back to pass on this 4th down play to the end zone, and it is caught. Touchdown, Fairmont State. That's a touchdown reception for Gage Michael, who's a Fairmont, West Virginia native.
I mean, great route concept there. They had a number 2 receiver go out to the flat, and number 1 come in, and that's a tough route to cover as a corner, especially in the red zone, because you're not expecting that play to take that long to allow the guy to go from the outside in to make that catch.
Kick is up, and it is good. Boy, it was a tough day for Nino Marzullo, but I got to tell you, Sisler has looked pretty good since he has come in to play quarterback for Fairmont State.
Yeah, he has. I mean, he's
6
come
and
in
9
there
for 111 yards and 2 touchdowns.
and 2 touchdowns. Yeah, I mean, he's come in and he's done exactly what you asked of him to do. Once again, it doesn't matter how you got in the game. You're in the game now, and you have to do what you're asked to do. And he's able to put up some touchdowns, get this game back to something that you can say, okay, we can hang our hat on the last quarter. We can hang our hat on the fourth quarter. We can fix whatever happened the first 3 quarters, but we have some positive things to build on going into the week 2.
Minute 15 to go here in the fourth quarter. So score now, Dayton 43, Fairmont State 20. Our next broadcast will be on September 12th when the Flyers take on Thomas More. Kickoff for that game is scheduled for noon, and we invite you to join us here on YouTube Live for that one. And then after that, Flyers will head to Eastern Kentucky to take on the Colonels on September 19th as that ball will go into the end zone. That game is scheduled for a 6 o'clock start. And last Fairmont State drive, 9 plays, 96 yards, 3 minutes and 55 off the clock. Sisler was able to cap off that drive with a touchdown pass to Gage Michael. So the Flyers will have a bye week coming up. How did you feel about having the bye week this early in the season? Did you ever have to experience that as a player?
I think the earliest we had was like week 4, but I don't like it personally because the bye week, in my opinion, is to give guys breaks towards the end of the season. Right. Oh, great run.
This is a run across the 30-yard line down to about the 34, actually, as that is Pat McLaughlin. I believe that was carrying the football for Dayton.
Yeah, as the season goes on, guys get banged up. Some guys might need an extra week to play before you really get into the conference schedule. So it's tough because you have all spring ball, you have all summer, you come in preseason camp, you get excited to play week 1, and then you got to sit out week 2. So it's kind of tough as a player.
Correction, Tyler Brown with the carry. Now it will be a fake, and a very well-executed fake as well. Cross midfield, spin move across the 45-yard line.
Oh, my.
How about that? Another quarterback in for the Flyers. That'd be Liam Poronsky. He's a senior quarterback out of Tip City. Went to Tippecanoe High School.
Oh, great play, great run. But the receiver there, I didn't catch the number, was blocking so far downfield. When the coaches see that in film, they're going to point to that. That's how you finish a play. He was blocking the guy 20, 30 yards down the field, which is awesome to see.
Poronsky hands to Brown. Brown will take it across the 40-yard line to about the 38. And that will be that. Dayton begins the 2026 season with a W. Your final score from Welcome Stadium, Dayton 43, Fairmont State 20. This is how you want to start the season, Josh.
Oh, you couldn't ask for a better start to the season from all facets of the game. Offense, defense, special teams. They had their playmakers got the ball. Laco got the ball. The defense rallied to the ball. I mean, this is just a great all-around victory. Play calls was great. They was executed. Schottenmeyer did great. So I think this is something you can hang your hat on. Like, hey, great way to start the season. We can work on the stuff, but next we go into the bye week to be able to get ready for the season.
Dayton 1-0, Fairmont State 0-1. Bye week, and then Flyers back at it against Thomas More in a couple of weeks, and we'll have that game for you here on YouTube Live. This has been a presentation of Dayton football here on YouTube Live. For Josh Copeland, I'm Charlie Dana saying so long from Welcome Stadium. The Flyers get a big W to kick off the 2026 season, 43-20, the final here in the Miami Valley. Thanks so much for joining us for this presentation of Dayton football on YouTube Live.